Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We got a special Monday night edition of the Movie Club coming out. And yes, you do have a different angle of my face for tonight. This is why we jump on here and try to um, get logged on a little bit early. I had troubles with my regular camera. So I have a backup going right now. So you're going to have a side view of me for tonight. So hopefully that is not too distracting, but I appreciate everybody. I know there's a lot of streams going on tonight. I know there's basketball. There's a bunch of other things going on. So anytime you're spending with us for the whole long haul or for a little bit of it, it's always greatly appreciated. Tonight, I'm really excited. I got another great guest coming on that I've been lucky enough to run into on other streams, and going to be hanging out tonight talking about some of our interests, and we'll just see where everything goes. If you have any questions for either one of us, you can always throw those in the chat as well. But I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to bring my guest out for tonight. We got Nadia from Horror with Nads.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I was jamming to that countdown music.
Oh, I know.
Pretty cool.
that it's a new one I'm trying out because the first one that was on this, it was a little aggressive. And some people were like, oh, wow, Corey's going to rock out tonight or something. But yeah, I was trying to get one that was a little more laid back, a little bit more subdued. But again, I know I was saying backstage, but I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule and coming and hanging out with me.
Yeah. I'm not that busy of a person. I'm not in high demand. So don't think it's like, no, I love coming, like I said, backstage, coming on panels where I don't have to do the hosting work and just to hang out and talk about movies and comics and collectibles and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I'm a little bit of everything. So
no, that's perfect. We can maybe dive into a little bit of that, but yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, I got the technical or the issues we're going to have for tonight out of the way. So
you don't say it out loud. Otherwise,
I know I just jinxed myself. But no, again, really cool. I know I was able to, I guess, meet up with you. I think one of the first times was with Paul on Off the Cover on his Thirsty Thursday. So it's kind of always fun to be able to dive into some of those live streams with other people and get introduced to people you might have not have crossed paths with before. So I don't know how you feel about that. Do you have fun doing those little crossover things? And
I do because originally I was a content creator with my husband about 2 years ago. We actually had a pop culture podcast.
Okay.
And then he decided he just didn't like it. That's fine. So I moved over into my own thing, which with horror and stuff with my experience. But it's interesting to cross over because I don't hang out with a lot of like horror content creators, but I hang out with a lot of pop culture news. So I'm always meeting people, and I'm always interested to see their side of takes and things like that. Some are good, some are bad, just like mine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, yeah, all of us for sure. So you said your husband and you did do some things together that was kind of on the pop culture side, and then you've gone into the horror. What was the switch that got you going? You wanted to dive into the horror side of it a little bit more.
Horror is my favorite genre, and I was a special effects makeup artist for Hollywood for about 13 years.
Oh, nice.
Went to school for it, worked on indie films and stuff. So it's always been a part of my life. Worked in haunted houses, built a haunted house. So it's like my favorite thing in the world. I like the dark, the creepy, the horror, the stuff. So if you can't tell by my enormous screen background.
Yeah, I love it.
And when my husband and we did pop culture, I'm a big pop culture nerd too as well. I have my vices in it. He's not a big horror person, and when he decided to, like, it was not for him streaming and everything, I was like, okay, you know what? Everybody kept pushing me, like, you need to do your own channel. You need to do something that you love, your experience with horror and stuff, do that. And I just decided one day, like, you know what? I don't know if I can swear on this, but
oh, go
sure.
For it. Just be yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll do it live. So yeah, I just started the channel last August. It's been bumps throughout the road, learning, right?
Yeah.
Managing something by myself, and it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun to get to know a lot of different people, and I've reached out. I just interviewed the writer for Woman in the Yard, which was
Oh, nice. Yeah.
weeks ago.
Hmm.
He's a good guy. In 2 weeks, I'm supposed to have the director of Stream, who's also a producer for the Terrifier series. So I'm able to like talk to these people who are horror nerds too and passionate about that genre.
So did you ever think when you started this up that you would ever be talking to people that are in those types of positions? Like, was that your goal originally, or to
Nope.
be able to be speaking to professional? I know you said you were doing like special effects, like makeup artist, like in the field, in the the business, but I didn't know. Like, did you think that that was going to be a possibility that you're going to be talking to people that
I
are
didn't even
involved in
think I was
those?
going to be a content creator, to be honest.
Okay.
I originally thought, because my husband's such an expert, that he would be the one to take the lead and be the star, in a sense, the star of the show. Turned reverse. So, and it's not even, a lot of people ask me, like, how do you get these people to talk to you? I literally just ask them. And most
Yeah.
of the time, as long as they're not a jerk, they're just passionate about these projects. They want people to see them. They'll come on and talk to you about it. Be persistent too, especially if you're going through a firm. So I had Stephen Miller, who is the director of
Oh yeah.
Werewolves. Last
The
year.
new one
Yeah, they came out towards the end of last year.
with Frank Grillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the time, I was even a smaller content creator, and I reached out to him on Twitter, and I was like, "Hey, can I interview you just even for a few minutes?" He sent me through his like firm that does like all the marketing publicity stops and stuff, and I was just persistent. Every week,
Yeah.
email like, "Hey, just want him to come on. I don't care, 5 to 10 minutes, please." So they gave me the screener and like about 10 minutes of his time as he was
Nice.
doing like a rotating thing. My advice to any content creator: you just have to ask. What's the
Yeah.
worst case? They say no or they don't talk to you, then you're back to square one.
Yeah, and kind of like what you're saying right there, maybe it's just fitting into their schedule. So, like you said, being
Mm-hmm.
persistent. So maybe it doesn't work out the first time around, but if you keep on asking, you might find a spot in their schedule where you can fit that 10 minutes in and get a little
Yeah.
time with them. Oh,
I
that's
even had Brandon Sandsberg on, who did. He's the director of the George Romero Resident Evil documentary.
okay.
So he's a document. He's moving into making his own horror movies too. But anytime, I always tell these people, it's similar to like what you told me backstage. It's just a casual conversation. We're
Yeah.
just talking about stuff you love.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to talk about like, what's your favorite horror movie? What do you
Yeah.
like about this? What's this? All that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if they're working on a project or have something coming out,
Mm-hmm.
you don't think that would be too hard of a conversation to have with them if you're like, tell these people about what you're doing,
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
let's get more eyes on it. Let's
Yeah.
tell people more about your
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and I've been lucky enough so far with everybody I've interviewed who are who want to come back and just talk about like their favorite horror movies. So,
Oh, very
so
good.
just ask. That's all.
Yeah.
My number one advice to content creators: ask
No,
people.
that's cool. No, that's very cool. Hey, real quick, I always have to try to do that balance between the chat and
Oh yeah, yeah,
talking.
yeah,
I might run through real quick and just say hi
yeah,
to
yeah.
some folks that are
I told
jumping
you,
in
that's
already.
why I like being a panel. I don't.
I know, right? You can just be like, yeah, do your
Yeah.
thing, whatever. I'll be right here. We got movie hunter in here saying evening, everyone. Thanks for jumping in. Saying he's still at work but listening in. Oh, always appreciated. Thank you very much. We got Adrian James in here saying, hey there, Corey. Thanks, Adrian, for jumping in here. We got Hall and Oates in here saying, hey, Corey and Nadia.
Hello.
Hello. Got some highs back and forth. We got Larry, the horror cat dad, in here
The
saying,
horror
hey,
cat
friends.
dad. I love it.
Oh, I always tell him he's got like one of the best names. I wish every time I like meet people like Larry, I'm like, I should have thought of my YouTube name more before I just put it out there. Because I always, yeah, cool guy.
Mine's called
But
Horror with Nads. Do you know how many innuendo jokes I get?
um, really, I couldn't have
Yeah.
imagined. No.
Yeah. Even my husband, he hates it.
Oh, the first time I did run into your name though, it was before I even saw you, and I didn't know. I didn't know who you were, anything about you.
Yeah.
And then I saw Nadia, and I'm like, there you go. There's the
Yeah. Nads was my nickname when I was on film sets. So
Okay.
with a particular group that I would make a lot of movies with. So that
Yep.
was my nickname. So it's kind of like a nod to them.
Well, and it's kind of like with me too. Wilkie is short for my last name, and that's always been kind of a nickname that I've used
I
too.
just,
So,
for some reason, I get Willy Wonka stuck in my head every time I see your name.
well,
I'm like,
and we got a good friend, Prince. I don't know if he'll be in here tonight, but once in a while he drops in, and I think he started calling me Wilkie Wonka. So, so I was like, yeah, that works. Go for it, you know. But yeah, I get Willie a lot, or yeah, Wonka.
oh, for the longest, I thought your name was Willy.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I'll still answer to it. It's okay. We got some highs back and forth. I might run through some of those really quick. If I miss anybody's, if you have a question or anything, like always throw them out there and I'll try to grab it. But I at least want to say hi to everybody in here. Got Mr. Dan and Horror in here saying, hey, everyone. Got Johnny in here. What's Johnny watching? Saying, what's up, cool kids?
I love the blockbuster background. That's pretty
I know
cool.
he's got a great background on that.
Oh, it makes me miss blockbuster.
I know. All right. There was a lot of good Friday and Saturday early evenings, like going hunting movies there.
Kids don't know how they got it now. They don't. Streaming services have completely, I think, killed the discussion over water cooler. But also, even as kids, like Friday night when you're not of legal age to drink or do anything, go to the movies, grab a movie,
Oh yeah.
popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd always go and grab at least like 2 or 3 movies and run with it for a little bit. But I spread it around. Johnny said Wilkie Wonka. I'm gonna run with that. I'm gonna run that into the ground. Yeah, that's all right. I've been called worse things. It's okay.
That's right.
We got Hortensia in here saying, "Hey, Corey and Nadia, thanks for jumping in here, Hortensia.
Hello.
Thank you so much." But all right, well, I'll put a pin in that for right now. But yeah, I always like I said, I'm still relatively new with all this too, and I always love doing the live streams because the interaction with the people, like jumping in the chat. But it's always like that fine line, the balance between, talking with you and everybody that's jumping in the chat. But anyway, we were talking, like, to circle back to you though. You said you going kind of a little more solo into the horror genre, and that you've always really loved that. Do you remember what kind of sparked your interest or your love of horror movies? I mean, has this been a more recent thing or something like all the way growing up, or, what got you going on it?
So, what you'll learn about me is that I've never seen movies. So, like, for the first time, I saw Terminator 1 and 2 last year. So, like,
That's right. Yeah.
I get, but for horror, the genre horror, I've always seen horror movies. And the love of it came from my mom, who was big into it, and my
Nice.
godmother. And a lot of it actually came from books I would read. So, read Goosebumps, and then my godmother was actually part of the original like Stephen King fan club that would get like their books like mailed to them. This is pre-internet, pre all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And she gave me my first Stephen King book when I was very young because she could. I was an avid reader. I would go through books like crazy, and it was Tommyknockers. It's a
Okay.
weird first book to give like a middle schooler, but hey, we're here. Here we are now. And then my mom was just really big into horror movies. Like she introduced me to like Chucky and all the classic ones like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and then uh, even like she passed away like a couple years back, but even up until then, like she was my horror buddy. So like if there was a new horror TV show or movie, I'd call her and be like, we would discuss what's going on, how we liked it and stuff. So that's probably where it came from. And I just always loved it. And then in high school, I would work haunted houses,
Yeah.
and then would graduate to like helping manage to graduating to like building my own that I had funding back in Indiana, and then working in film and theater and stuff like that. So it just grew. But yeah, my love for it came from a very young age, really, really young.
That's cool to hear that. I actually, for a long time, my mom and I would go watch movies together a lot. I always had
Oh,
fun, like growing up, like middle school, junior high, high school, especially before I could drive and could just run off and go see a movie. We would go watch movies a lot together. And my, bless her heart, my poor mom, I got to the point where there were some of the movies where she would walk out pretty early in the movie and go to like the PG one that was right next door or whatever. But she's like, I'll meet you outside when you're done, kind of a thing. But yeah, she couldn't. The violence and the horror stuff she could not do. So I just still remember to this day this little point where she was just like, "Yep, I'll meet you out front when you're done," and she'd go walk into the Disney movie that was next door or something like that. But
Like my dad won't watch. He hasn't to this day. Probably the closest thing he's ever seen is The Exorcist, but that's because it was such a big deal when he was growing up.
oh sure,
But he never. He's so my dad's from the Middle East, so he would see like big blockbuster movies that would come over there. So like Indiana Jones, the Star Wars
sure,
films, and stuff like that. So he introduced me to that kind of stuff. But horror has never been on his radar. He like The Exorcist is probably the only movie my dad has ever recommended to me to watch, other than Jaws, if you want to count Jaws as a horror movie.
yeah,
Uh,
sure, yeah.
yeah, but mostly with him, I just grew up watching like Jackie Chan movies.
Oh, those are good too.
Yeah,
That's
that's like everybody's like, yo, you've never seen this or this. I'm like listen, my mom was big into horror, but my dad was not. And like when they divorced, I lived with my dad, and he liked just like action movies, like the Jack, like very
oh yeah,
PG, clean action movies for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Get some good yeah, those Jackie Chan ones are fun. That's a great mix. I got horror and Jackie Chan going on. I
Yeah,
love that.
but
You got
missing everything in between.
yeah, I love that. I love that. With your when you're watching horror movies, are there any like sub genres that you get into a little bit more than others, or any that you stay away from?
I definitely tend to stay away from a lot of extreme body horror, which is funny
Yeah,
being a special effects artist.
yeah,
And when I mean extreme, I'm okay with, like, I really love The Substance. I thought that was really great. That was done. I'm more like the pustule, like, gross
mm,
body, like like, it makes you want to vomit almost kind of body horror. I tend to stay with, I don't do spiders. Spiders are off the table. Won't watch spider movies. And but what I lean more towards is like I love religious horror movies, so
okay,
possession, things like that. Monster films are okay. Folklore horror is a big thing for me too. Mystery horror, thrillers as well, like slashers. I mean, Scream is one of my favorite franchise, the
ah,
good
that's fun.
and the bad of it. So
Yep. No, that's a great one. I'm kind of the same way too. It's kind of funny when you think about some of those things where I can watch almost anything, but it seems like I have a hard time with things with fingernails or teeth.
oh, ooh, oh, special. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, not to put that image in your mind,
no, no, no,
but
no, no. Yeah,
you know
you
what
don't
I'm.
watch Hostel.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Or The Fly, or like some of those where.
Which is weird. I love both versions of The Fly, the
Yeah,
Vincent Price version and the Cronenberg version.
yeah,
Both I love for different reasons. The Cronenberg version is really gross, but
yeah.
for some reason I can accept it or just like
You're
bypass
okay with
it
it.
because of the story.
Yep. No, that's a great one, but yeah, it's whatever reason, those are things that will make me cringe, and I'll start shutting my eyes or like doing the little like, oh, is it over yet?
Oh, jump scares I hate the worst, especially
uh,
when I know they're not scary. It's just an evil trick to put on people when
I,
because I know it's coming and I'll just be like ah.
I feel like it's a cheap trick, like it's I don't mind a jump scare, but I hate when a movie like leans into it heavy, and
Yes,
that's like the gig, the whole movie. It's
all
not
the
like there was just
Insidious
one or
movies.
two.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like that's what they're leaning on hard. Yeah, I have a hard time, yeah, with that. But and then it's kind of funny. I'll have some movies where I don't know if they're probably intentionally jump scares or not, but they build up the intensity so much that I end up having a jump scare from something maybe wasn't
that's me
intended to
playing
be.
video games
Yeah, yeah, right.
when I play
Yeah.
horror games. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I think jump scares can be used I don't want to say tastefully, but they can be used properly. It's just like you said, when they lean too heavily on it, when it becomes the trope of the franchise.
Yeah.
Such as like I said, Insidious one, great movie. The rest of the franchise just relies too much on that like jump scare ghost like popping out of anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't mind, I'm gonna run through the chat just real
Yeah,
quick
yeah.
again. Just
No,
say
no.
Make sure I say hi to anybody that's jumping in here, or if there's any questions. Anybody's like I said, anybody ever has a question? I know people like saying hi, which I love. So keep doing that. Not saying anything about that, but if you ever have a question, like throw it out there and we can take a look at it. We got D in here from our Jurassic Chaos saying, "Hey Corey and Nadia,
At
still,
Knott's Berry
yeah,
Farm?
Knott's Berry Farm,
I
yeah.
worked there for a season for their haunted house. I think it was either like the 25th or 50th anniversary. One of the anniversaries had the
Oh, for
Green
real?
Witch. Yeah. Yeah, I did the makeup backstage for their haunted houses. Yeah.
Oh, that's too cool. They were
Hmm.
just there. Oh, well, I obviously still there. She was live streaming from there with her boys and her husband. But D, I got to end up finding out if Chilo ended up doing that pie eating contest or not. There's the
Oh.
boysenberry festival or something going on. So, yep, you'll have to let me know. All right, we'll run through here real quick. Johnny was saying the OG fly is actually pretty good.
Vincent Price's. Yeah. My channel once a month or once every 2 months we do a tier stream of like horror movies. So like last month we did my birthday stream because it was in March. Prior to that we did a vampire one.
Yeah.
Coming up in May we're doing a Vincent Price
Okay.
tier stream where we're going to tier stream his movies,
Oh, cool. I'll have to watch
which
out
the
for
fly
that.
is on.
No, that'd be cool. Chilo saying, "Hey, what's up, Corey? Hope all is well. Yep, doing good." Chilo, I'll have to find out if you did that pie eating contest, if you got into that or not. So, um, Movie Hunter was saying the Marathon Man made me fear the dentist. Yes, absolutely. Yep. I don't know what it is, but it's weird how you can watch so many crazy things, but there might be something simple that you're just like, nope, I can't do that. And for whatever reason, I'm
The body
fingernails and teeth.
Well, when I watch a movie because of having the experience of building those things, like my brain goes somewhere else. I just
Yeah.
go, okay, wait a minute, what is that? How did they do that? So, like, I take myself out of my own movies with my own head sometimes.
Well, I could see that. Yeah, yeah. You're trying to figure out how they pulled the effect off, or how they. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Johnny was saying I felt that smile leaned too heavy into the jump scare. Crap. I haven't
I like the
actually
first
seen it.
one.
I haven't actually seen it.
The first one's really good. The second one, I could take it or leave it because it's the same story beats, just on a bigger scale. So I
Okay.
felt like there was nothing new. However, I think it's Naomi Scott who's the lead. Great
Yeah.
performance. Don't get me wrong. And I like that similar to the original one, the the monster at the end is half puppeteered practical effects.
Yeah.
But for me, the second one, the best part of it is like the first 5 minutes of the opening, and that's about it.
Okay.
Take
No,
it or leave it.
I have to check them out still sometime, but I have not got to them. We got Mika and maybe also Kira in here saying, "Hey, Nadia."
Hola, hello, ladies.
Saying hello, everyone. Always love seeing you guys around. So thank you. Um, all right, Sorry, I try to do little speed runs through these sometimes, but
You're fine.
all right, I'll put a pin in it for right now. There, but so when you're diving into the movies you really love, do you have? I know sometimes people have some favorite franchises. Do you have anything that really stands out to you that you're just like? And it's okay if you don't, even if it's
Hmm.
more than one. Do you have some that you lean into? I know you threw out Scream earlier, not to throw that in
Scream.
there, but yeah. But I see Ghostface back there behind you.
Ton of them.
Yep,
There's the
yep,
Terrifier glasses
yep. I
too.
see the Terrifier. Yep.
Franchise wise, I mean, like I know I might be in the minority for this, but I'm actually pretty excited for the new Jurassic Park.
I
I get it. The last couple of them weren't that great, but to me, I remember the exact theater, the exact row and seats I was in with my mom and my sisters when we went to see the first one. Like
yeah,
I could point it out to you,
yeah.
and I just love that franchise so much. So I will take the good or bad for it. So I'm actually pretty excited for it. Um, as for like major ones, I used to be big into Marvel, as we all were.
Yeah, yeah.
They were good.
Yep, yep.
Uh, but for horror wise, Scream is probably my favorite. I love John Carpenter movies. The Thing is like my ultimate favorite movie. It's always number one on the list. I love movies that are adapted from books I read that are pretty good. I read a lot of Stephen King, a lot of comic books too as well. yeah, I can't think of like any major IPs that I'm other than Scream that I'm very gun ho for.
And I think Scream's a great one. I enjoy Scream a lot as well, and I think that's a good one. Whether people agree with me or not, I think that's a good one as a recommendation to somebody to dip their toe into horror movies.
It's the
Uh,
Mission Impossible of horror.
yeah, yeah.
It's,
Like,
it's kinda,
but do you agree? And you don't have to agree with me. I mean, I never am offended with somebody not agreeing with me because it's always fun to just talk about the different viewpoints. But if somebody's like, I'm not sure about horror movies, like if I'm unsure about it, what would be something to go watch? Scream kind of is a good one to get into. Or what would be something you would throw out to somebody?
I don't know if I would throw Scream out, mostly
Okay,
because the
yeah,
first one is actually pretty gory and vicious.
I got
When's the
you.
last time you've seen it?
Oh, it's been a long
Yeah.
time.
So I went back to rewatch it for a stream, and I forgot how gory it was. The first one, they kind of died down a little bit, and then towards the end of it, they bring back a little bit more of the gore. But the first one almost didn't get made because the studio saw the Drew
Okay,
Barrymore scene and
yeah,
was like, "No, we can't do this."
all
So
right,
I love that one. I'm trying to think what would be a good horror movie. I mean, there's a lot of like kids horror movies that would be good. Like Gremlins would be a good one
oh
for people
sure,
to kind of
yeah,
step into.
yeah.
Um, Man, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would be a good introduction to people. It would depend on like what they like. So
Yeah.
if someone really likes thrillers, you could probably find something that's a little bit of both to have them kind of ease their way in.
Yeah.
Uh, Halloween probably would be a good
Yeah.
franchise for people to start with. Too, I think a little bit less gorier than Scream. I personally, if I'm going to mess with somebody, I'm going to introduce them to Leprechaun series.
Nice.
Uh, the third one's one of my favorite movies. When he goes to Vegas,
Yeah.
so I probably would do that if I really want to mess with someone. Um,
That's funny.
yeah, I don't know right off the top of my head any good movies. Maybe Chucky. Yeah, double feature's right.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Child's
see.
Play
I
was one
just
of
saw
my
that pop
favorite. I
up.
hate dolls. I hate
Chucky or
dolls so much at
Halloween.
this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chucky would be good because Chucky again. First one's pretty horror related, but it's similar to kind of the Leprechaun franchise, where it gets a little bit more sillier as the movies progress.
Yeah.
Like
What'd
you're
you think?
laughing at the end point.
Yeah. What'd you think of like Megan? That's okay if you
Uh,
don't like it. I'm kind of wondering. I have not watched the teasers or the trailers of the new one
yeah.
that they're throwing out there,
Oh,
but
you haven't?
no, I have not yet. No.
I didn't like the first one, but I will tell you, I will be seated for the second one. The second one looks like it just goes. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna
Just
throw
throw it out the
everything at
window.
it. And it is. It's no longer a horror. Well, it might be a horror movie. There's horror aspects of it, but it's more of an action. This is your battles, Alita. Like you're
I
like it's just off the wall baddie.
I I
So
haven't watched it yet, but I had some friends that kind of said something similar to what you're saying. I think because they were just like, "Oh yeah, they gave up horror and they went T2 on that one,
oh yeah,
Terminator 2."
yes. I showed my husband the trailer, and granted, he's not a big horror guy at all. He
Yeah,
like he dabbles a little bit, but and a little bit I mean like Army of Darkness, Shaun of the Dead, like that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
He saw the trailer, and I go, "Isn't this like a battle whatever Alita?" And
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, "No, these are Terminator 2 beats." And I was like, "Oh, you're right."
No,
So yeah,
I haven't watched it, but I did have a friend that was like, he's like, I just think I saw a modern T2 trailer right
I'm just
there.
going
But
in to have fun. I'm just going in
yeah,
to have, and you know what? That's what movies should be. I get it. There are movies out there that are supposed to make you ponder at life and make you, and some of them are in the horror genre, right?
yeah,
But to me, sometimes movies don't have to have a moral or agenda or talk about something. They could just be sloppy fun. And to me, that's what Megan 2 is.
oh
Megan
yeah,
2 is just like maybe take an edible, get your popcorn in your pop, and just
yeah.
sit down and just have a good time with it.
Well, I don't know if it's a modern. Well, they've had it before too, but I didn't know if it was a newer trend or not. But it seemed like there's been a little bit of lean into the comedy horror a little bit
But it's
lately.
not done really, in my opinion, it hasn't been done very well. Like
That's what I was
everybody
going
was
to ask
expect,
you, what you thought
yeah.
about it.
I haven't seen a. So I liked what's the last good one I saw? The Blackening, which I really liked.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
that's
I
a good
thought
one.
that was
Yeah, I
pretty
have that one.
funny.
Yep.
Uh, but Death of the Unicorn that came out this year,
I have not seen that one yet.
it's not good, in my opinion. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know if it wants to be horror or comedy, and I get it. You can balance both of it, but they don't balance it both, and they don't know who to make fun of. They don't
Okay.
they don't realize they should be making fun of themselves instead of just out there throwing out these jokes.
Yeah.
And I thought Woman in the Yard was way better than Death of a Unicorn, and I did a double feature of the two.
I was very interested in Woman in the Yard. I'm gonna have to try to check that one out sometime. So, have you ever? Did you see Hard Eyes at all?
I liked Hard Eyes,
Okay.
could not care less for Companion. Companion
Oh,
was too
really? Okay.
predictable.
Okay. Yeah.
Companion to me just was predictable from start to finish. It wasn't scary. Every scary part was in the trailer, and they were very smart in using. I'm gonna mess up his name. The director of Barbarian. He's a producer on it. He's not directing on it.
Right.
They were smart to kind of utilize him in the marketing for it. I will give them that. But it was just so boring, so predictable. And I thought Heart Eyes was cute. It was like Hallmark mixed with horror. I did a stream
Rom-com
about the two
horror.
of them. Yeah, right before Valentine's Day, I was like, if you're going to take your girl to see any movie, go see Heart Eyes. Don't go see Companion.
Yeah.
It was a snooze fest.
I had fun
In
with
my
Hard
opinion.
Eyes, but I know some friends of mine said they were like, I just thought they leaned. It was a lot more comedy than they thought it was going to be when they went to go see it. You know, kind of a thing. But
Stop casting Jack Quaid in everything, guys. He
everything.
doesn't need to be in
Well,
everything.
the two you just mentioned is him and their
Yeah,
companion and Hard Eyes.
well, no, he's
Oh no,
just in
not Hard Eyes.
Companion.
Novocaine.
He's in. Yeah, I haven't seen
Novocaine.
Novocaine yet. My
Sorry,
introduction to him was
I'm
The
mixing.
Boys
Yeah.
as Huey. I hate that adaptation of The Boys. I have the comics. Read the
Okay.
comics. Don't bother with the show. But I'm like, stop casting him in these like boyfriend roles that are like, oh, they're the evil villain of the story. It's not believable to me. At least it's not believable. I haven't seen Novocaine, but at least when he was in Scream and when he's in Companion, I'm like, he's just like a vengeful nerd. It's just like doesn't come off as intimidating whatsoever. So yeah,
No, I haven't seen the other. I did see Companion, but I have not seen Novocaine yet. But I heard some people say it was fun, but I know
I did too.
it's like some all the movies anymore. It's kind of just a mixed.
Yeah,
You know, it's
I
like
I don't like to talk about movies. Well, I do talk about movies and at least the marketing. But to me, even if somebody tells me, "Oh, this movie is crap," I still will go see it because I want to form my own opinion.
oh sure,
Nobody's opinion is Bible to me in the content creating world. That's why a couple years back, when I was first on the scene, I really liked Barbie.
yeah,
I loved Barbie. I thought Barbie was great. I saw it. I cried. I loved it. And there was a lot of pushback in the in the group of YouTube content creators. Right? It's woke. It's feminist. It's all this stuff. And I was on many streams defending that movie, very much so, because I'm like, I don't follow the narrative. Like, if somebody tells me this movie's crap, okay, then obey. I'll just obey, just like
yeah,
that
right, yeah,
Carpenter They Live. I got to form your own opinion on it. Alien Romulus, I really enjoyed. Not a lot of people did.
yeah.
It's okay. Opinions are like buttholes. Sometimes they smell. Sometimes they're
Everybody's
clean.
got one.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's my opinion.
I liked Romulus. I had fun with
My
it.
problem is, I misspoke. I like Romulus a little bit better than Aliens, and I put an asterisk on that is because Romulus fits my vibe. I really love Alien. I like the horror aspect of Alien. Aliens is more action, right? Similar to T1, T2. There's a difference. Like T1 to me is like a stalker, dark
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
movie,
Hmm.
where an Alien is like a claustrophobia and all this stuff. I like Romulus because it leans heavier into the horror aspect instead of action
Yeah. Yeah.
aspect, except for the last part, which was weird. But I made the mistake of saying I liked it better than Aliens, which I did. But I can appreciate Aliens. I think Aliens is a great action movie. I think it's fantastic. I went down the Alien franchise last year, watched all of them, and uh, that was my mistake. So now I get shit on all the time for saying
See,
I like Romulus.
see, that's the thing. I But then I actually was getting a little bit of that not too long ago too, because we were going through and rewatching all the Friday the 13th movies and ranking those. And one of my favorites is probably up on the top of worst ones for a lot of people. So, but I'm like, I don't care.
Everybody's
It's the one I have
different,
fun.
right?
It's the one I have fun with. You know, I like it. And so yeah, just run with what you like. But I was seeing a couple others in here. Mika was saying the trailer shows the whole movie. Oh, probably with the
For Megan
companion
2.0, yeah.
or Megan 2.0. Okay,
Hmm.
companion I thought did too as well. So the teaser, the original little teaser was
They should have
okay.
just left it at the teaser.
Yes, there was
Yeah.
a longer trailer I saw after that I wish I would not. I still enjoy it. I enjoyed the movie, but I think I would have liked somewhat of a reveal without knowing something that was in the trailer without going into too much stuff. But
Everybody should take marketing advice from the folks that did Long Legs and Nosferatu last year,
yeah,
because nothing was revealed for both of those movies. They kept everything kind of on the tight lip. And especially for Long Legs, the marketing for it, nobody knew what this movie was going to be. Like, you had a concept of it, but didn't know what it was going to be in. And the marketing, even if you loved or hate that movie, marketing was fantastic for it. Same with Nosferatu.
yeah.
You didn't get to see him. You got little glimpses and clips. Everybody kind of knows the story of Dracula, so you know what kind of story beats you're going to be walking into, but very tight lip on it. And I think nowadays, too much is shown in the trailer,
I
even
still
if it's
need
a
to.
bad or good or bad movie.
Yeah, no, I agree. They show too much on it. I still need to watch all of Nosferatu. I started watching it way too late one night and I fell asleep. Not
Uh oh.
no shade on the movie. It's just I'm old and it was way too late to start a movie like that. And all I know is I woke up at a part where oh gosh, what's her name? The Depp.
Oh,
The
Lily Rose Depp.
yes, I woke up to her going through some type of fit.
Oh, man. Oh, you got there. Whoa.
I
Yeah.
woke up at this pot and I was like, you know, it's like one of those moments where I'm trying to like get my bearings a little bit and I'm like, what the heck is on the TV right now? And then I realized that the movie was still going, but that's where I woke up at. And yeah, I stopped it because I was like, I need to start it over again. But yeah, it was quite the thing to wake up to at the
I
early
went
morning
to the
hours.
theaters twice to see it. First, I saw it in standard, and I was like, okay, it's really good. It was my movie of the year last year for the new releases.
Yeah.
But then I went to go see it in IMAX, and it just blew me away with the picture quality and just the colors came through better, the lighting came through better. So I learned my lesson the hard way that movies like that, first time watch, should be pay a little extra for the IMAX. But I also have the popcorn bucket right here too that I turned into kind of like a flowery
Oh yeah.
thing. So
I
yeah.
yeah, I wish I had an IMAX closer to me. There was, I'm in a smaller market area, but there was going to be one that was going to be going up, and then things happened in early 2020, you know, and
Hmm.
a lot of businesses had things delayed or canceled altogether, and that one's been on hold for a while. So I'm really hoping I'll get an IMAX around me here before too long, but
Have you seen anything in 4DX?
no, nope, nope.
I saw Twisters in 4DX where it
So is
makes
that
your
like the
feet move
seats are shaking and
smooth. They
everything?
spray water on you. There's lightning. Actually, to be honest, it's one of the perfect movies to go see it in 4DX. To be honest, and then I saw Deadpool versus Wolverine in 4DX
Oh,
too.
for real?
And they move your seat with the camera too. So like if the camera's moving slightly, your seat kind of moves with it
Oh,
too.
wow.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
No, I have not experienced. I'll have to track one down. Maybe I'll have to make a little trip some weekend and see a movie somewhere. There's some, but I'd probably have to go like a couple hours or so to get one like that. But Mika was saying love the blackening. I thought that was a fun
I
one.
thought it was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
kind of
think
fun.
very underrated. I think a lot of people pushed it to the side, thought it was just going to be some kind of stereotypical slop. I thought it was great. Well
Yeah,
done.
no, I thought it was good. Johnny was saying Barbie was great. Piss on the haters. There, I said it.
Yes, I'm
You
with
got
you, Johnny.
Johnny's backing you up there. And then you got some backup here too. Larry was saying Romulus was 90 to 95% awesome.
Yeah, that last part was a little doozy.
That was that last 10 to 5 to 10%, I guess. But and T1 is great. Yep. Well, T2 as well. But uh, where do you rank 3? Oh gosh, see, this is where I fall behind in the chat, and I don't know which one we're
I
talking
don't know if
about
he's
there.
talking Alien or Terminator because I've not.
Yeah,
So I was told to stop at 2, which I did.
sorry, Larry, if you're still in here, throw in which one you're talking about. I That's where I fall behind in the chat, and then I don't know what you're referencing. Um, Johnny was saying, "I'll die on this hill. Alien is better than
I
Aliens."
agree. I actually agree. Okay,
Very
completely
different
on this.
movies,
Yep,
I
very
think.
different movies,
Yeah.
but I think Alien captures the intensity of the franchise a little bit better than Aliens,
Mm-hmm.
where you by the time you get into Aliens, you know these things are like crawling around and stuff, and these guys with big guns are going to get to them. Where Alien, by the way, first time watched it last year. Actually, did a watch party for it, and never seen it because I have a fear of aliens and the little gray men,
Yep. Yep.
gray men, and it was the build up tension, and especially not knowing who the main character was in a sense, right? Like it just flowed very well. The chemistry between the cast, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. I'm kind of rambling at this point.
That's okay. I
Continue.
do that all the time. You're gonna fit in really well on my stream here, so I just get going. I do that so many times. That's the thing though. Like a lot of times when you're doing live streams, and I don't know, and not putting words in your mouth, but myself like doing this, like sometimes, especially like you're talking about, it's a little bit different when you're hosting it. So you got chat going on.
Hmm.
I'm talking to you. I'm trying to think about what I'm saying right now or listening to what you're saying and what I'm going to do next. And then sometimes I'll just sit there and be like, yep, I don't know where I was going with that.
Oh, especially because so like having another content creator, I understand you got to pull up chat. You've got stuff to do, right?
Yep.
I sympathize. If you have somebody who's maybe you're interviewing like a director, actor, writer,
Oh, sure.
it's
Sure.
hard to kind of balance those because you're like you don't want to interrupt them and their train of thought because they're
Yeah.
giving you the time, but you also have to acknowledge the chat as well going through. So I always try to backstage tell them like, hey, I'll be pulling up chats, breaking down
Yeah.
like, so
Yeah.
please don't think I'm rude and stuff. They're usually pretty keen on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to do a good balance with that. But just talking like creators, the two of us like talking back and forth on this thing, and me being really new to it still overall. Um, the reason I like live streams is to have some of that instant interaction. And I know that's why I liked, and I still like going onto other people's live streams because I'll get in the chat still and do that. And so it's like you want to make sure you do just a mix of, like, I want to be respectful of your time. You're taking time out of your evening to hang out with me and talk. But then, you got people in the chat. So it's a fun
You got
little
to find the
balancing act.
yeah. I when I started my channel, I just did recorded reviews, and I hated it because
Yeah.
I I got feedback from it. You seem very lifeless. There's no energy in your voice, and it's because I'm by myself talking to a camera by myself about something. Where I find live streams I like better because I love interacting with people in the chat, answering questions, bringing up things, and just being myself. Where recorded, I'm very much like, and I thought the movie was like this, and I hate editing too. So I'm a streamer. I've decided I'm just a streamer. I'm not going to be doing any recording unless it's like very much I have to. So that's why I tried to like my scheduling Tuesday, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Sundays I kind of leave off so I can go see movies and do double
Yeah.
features so that I can talk about these things during the week.
I'm right there with you. I feel like I'm more natural talking like this right
Yeah,
now. And
recorded. There's nobody in the room.
yep,
Well, I'm gonna talk to my
I
dog.
struggle. Not that I don't struggle with live streams too, but I feel like I struggle a lot more with just me in front of a camera and nothing else. And yeah, it's different, but it's kind of funny. Like the more people you meet that are doing these things, there's people that go the other way too. They're like, I can't
Oh
do
yeah,
live streams, and so it's interesting. It's just what kind of fits your personality or what. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so scattered that a live stream is a little bit better for me. But
recording for like 8 to 10 hours and editing for 8 to 10 hours for a 5 minute video.
yeah,
God bless you all that can do like hour long descriptions of series and TV shows and movies. bless you all, because I don't have the patience for it. I don't know. It's just, to me, I'm the oldest of eight, so I've always had somebody around to talk about stuff with, and I like that because I can give you my thoughts on the movie, but to be honest, I want some pushback, or I want to know why you loved it. So I
Right.
like the live interactions for it.
No, I'm right there with you. Completely agree. Larry was throwing some shade at Johnny there. Blasphemy, Johnny. I think that was the Alien over Aliens. Um, and then Larry was saying Megan 2 is a wait for streaming for me. I was in the minority of people that thought it was overhyped.
It was, the first one was very much overhyped. It's interesting seeing these movies because I think it's for a different generation.
Yeah.
It's for a younger generation, and I didn't realize how old I was until like these movies like Bodies, 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 or Megan, or even Companion
Yeah.
are for more of the TikTok Gen Z kind of generation that don't want to sit there for 3 hours, or don't want to sit there and watch a movie that might not lay everything out on the table for you
Yeah.
and leave some mystery to it. So I think that's why we're all just getting old, folks. We're getting old. We're just all getting old.
I know. I got to shave my beard for too long because all my gray starts showing up a lot more with that going on. So, yep, the years do that to you. But Larry was saying, though I thought it was a bit overhyped, the Substance did a great job with their trailer as well.
Hmm. Substance was weird. I almost completely did not watch it because I knew it was body horror going in. But however, every female friend I have who is into movies and stuff recommended it to me right away. They're like, even as a woman, you need to go see this. This is like the discussion of like beauty standards, not even just in Hollywood, but just in general. And you're gonna really love it. And I did. I thought it was great. I love the little nod to Carrie at the end. I like the Stephen King kind of Easter eggs put through the influence. Plus, I like her other movies, so thought it was.
I haven't seen it yet, but it is one I do need to get watched. But it's kind of like what you said, where you had some movies just recently last year that you watched that people were like, "How have you not ever seen this movie before?" You know, it's like there's only so many hours in the day, and
Yes, and you should know as well, as a content creator, you have to watch stuff for your content too. So that
yeah,
takes priority over things you might want to watch.
yeah.
Like especially me, I'm doing my first watch through of the X Files, and I'm doing a stream for that.
Oh, nice.
I'm revisiting Stranger Things with a panel. We're about to queue up Last of Us season 2. So, and then I have movies to watch for my Tuesday stream. So you have to try to find that balance, because I think if you don't, you'll get burnt out, and then you
Yeah,
won't be able to enjoy things. Um, I'm lucky. I work from home, so I can
I
watch movies throughout the day, and I
I
don't
do
have
too.
kids, so.
Yep. Well, see, and I do too. But so a lot of times during the day I can't. But if I don't have something going on right after, I can log off of work and get an hour and a half movie in
Mhm.
real quick, you know, and or at least a chunk of it, and then watch
Or a
the
TV
rest
show
later.
or
Then yeah,
something.
right,
Yeah.
yep. Because there's a couple series I've been bad where we were joking about like kind of having a little bit of my attention span. Sometimes I think I lean towards movies a little bit more than series. Like there's a bunch of series that I'll see a couple of them. I really like it, but for whatever reason, I just don't go back and finish the rest of it. So
I have some of those. Yeah.
okay, and but just recently I've gotten into a few. So one, some friends of mine have been like recommending this forever, but now I'm actually into season 2 of Invincible.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen that one at all
I've
or not.
seen them and I've read the comics.
Okay. So I'm trying to get through that because it was recommended so many times. So I got through that, and then I just recently started. They only have 2 episodes out. Yesterday was the second one. Was Mobland. It's on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Uh, I don't think all of them are directed by Guy Ritchie, but he did at least a few of the episodes, and it's got Pierce Brosnan and oh, I'm completely blanking on his name now. He played Bane in Batman.
Tom Hardy.
Yes, sorry. Wow, I
It's
blanked on
okay.
that one really bad. Uh, so they have some bigger names in there, and I don't know. Sometimes I'm a sucker for gangster mob movie or like story or whatever. So
Do you like comedy?
yeah,
I recommend Righteous Gemstones.
I've not seen that, but I've seen so many clips from that. I'll write that
It's in its
down.
final season, and I didn't really think I was gonna like. I love it. I am there seated every Sunday night to see this new
All right,
episode.
I'll have to check that out. I've seen so many memes and little like reels of
Yes,
some things that I'm like, oh, that was hilarious. But see, that's the thing. I don't know why I just haven't gone out and actually watched it, but I wrote it down. I'll check that
I'm the
out.
same way because I have a couple of comfort shows that I'll just put on rewatch in the background. And I'm like, I should be watching something new,
Yeah,
but I just don't have the attention span for it.
yeah. I think I'm the same way for sure. Mika,
I
with
also
the
think.
oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
go.
No, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just I didn't mean to cut you off, but Mika was just saying, Corey, we are huge Alien and Aliens fans. Not a big fan of Romulus. Love to see how people rank the films. It's okay not to be fans of a particular film. Yeah, you
I think
see, Mika and Kira have great outlooks or way they accept people liking something different than they do in their order. But like sometimes it's kind of funny in this whole world of movies and pop culture and stuff
especially if
where
you're trying to critique it or
yeah.
people in the group. I've never shamed anybody for liking anything. I might make fun of you, but I'm never going to shame you. But I expect the same thing back. I was on a stream to talk about Alien Romulus. I was the only one on the panel that liked it, and everybody was like digging deep and digging hard to tear this movie apart. And then a beat would go away, and I go, "Well, I liked it.
I liked it.
I liked it." So I just think
I love
people
that.
like you can have debates. It's just when you're punching down, and that was one of the worst experiences I had when I started off as a content creator.
Yeah.
Was when I was debating Barbie on panels, especially the first one I went to. It wasn't to have an open discussion. Like, tell me why you didn't like it. Give me your reasons why behind it. How do you break this down? It was just more just like, oh, you like it because you're a feminist. I think what I was called was a Brie Larson feminist.
Mm.
I'm like, I'm furthest furthest from that. And first of all, that's not a reason to not like a movie. You have to give me some substance to work with. I'm not gonna go, hey Corey, you don't like Barbie? It's because your beard's too long.
Yeah, exactly.
like,
Shave it.
or it's because you have a vagina. That's why you liked Barbie. Like, give me I had actual legit reasons. It's just how I was brought up, the relationship I had with my mother that I can compare it to and stuff. And granted, I know people aren't gonna like everything. If we all liked the same thing, life would be so boring.
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
think that's
Absolutely.
discussion now for Minecraft. People are breaking down this movie, and respectfully, I understand this movie is a slogger. Like it
I'm
is probably from what I've seen. There's no story substance, but it's also made for like 13-year-old kids,
well, I'd say
like
some kids
young kids.
apparently some kids are having fun with it because I think it has
Kids are
done well
loving
for
it.
the opening weekend anyway. But
Yeah, from what I've seen, and I know we should have more intelligent stuff for kids to watch, right? The argument is, well, even if kids are enjoying this, we should have better stuff for kids to enjoy. That's great, but tell me, as a 13-year-old boy, you're not going to want to go watch something about fart jokes for like
yeah,
2 hours? Just
let me
let
start
people
naming off all the
enjoy.
movies that I enjoyed around that age that were not highbrow humor. Yeah, but no, it's hitting the audience. But I've not seen it. That will probably be one I'd wait for coming out to a streaming to check it out. But that's not a shade to that. I'm a little farther away from theaters, and I got to pick and choose. What I go out to see.
I didn't
But
go see Snow White. I'm not going to go see that. It's not something of interest, but I also know it's not made for
yeah,
me.
not your You're
Uh,
not the target audience, and I'm
yeah,
not either. And
and that's why I like that I don't do a pop culture stream channel anymore. I don't have to cover everything. I can cover what I like.
just
Uh,
focus on that.
just focus on that. I mean, if I had kids or nephews or nieces who were into Minecraft, I'd take them to see it. But I would rather have just something kids are really into and stuff. I don't know. I know my parents didn't enjoy things I watched sometimes as a kid. I didn't. I don't know. Just
No, it's yeah. I don't know. And I'll never get offended if somebody likes something that I don't like, or somebody doesn't like something I like. It's like food. Not everybody's gonna have the same taste, and what
Hmm.
you're, so
Well, one of your commenters brought it up, the box office brawler about women in the art. That's a very interesting dynamic going on in the reviewing
I fell
industry.
behind
But
here.
people like some people like it, some people don't like it. So I think it also falls back on the marketing. Marketing kind of marketed it as a ghost story.
Oh,
When
is
I
it here?
had
Okay.
yeah, when I had Sam on last week to talk about it, I think Double Feature was in the chat too. Sam broke it down of like he wrote it when he was depressed, during, and that's where it manifested from. And I could see that throughout the movie. It is definitely a movie more about, to me, survivor's guilt,
Yeah.
depression, and how you deal with those things and the choices you make. And I love. And he told me originally it was supposed to be Man in the Yard, but they switched it over. I'm like butchering his thing. It was a great interview. If you're in the chat, go check it out. Go check it out. But he comes from a uh, comedy background. He wrote F his family for Bill Burr's show, like 28 episodes for it. This is his first time ever like dipping into horror, but he just knew he had to kind of get this out. And I think the marketing for it just marketed wrong.
Yeah.
Marketed it to be like some kind of like scary, insidious movie when there's like deeper layers to it.
Yeah, that's so. Also, going back to the trailers, talking about giving away too much when we were talking about the earlier, marketing movies in a different way than what they
Hmm.
really are, and it's not the fault of the director, the actors, actress, whatever. It's I've seen that before too, where people are going into it expecting something different, and maybe they're a little turned off because it's just not what they thought from what they
Yes,
saw from the trailers. Um, but
I always
box
bring
office
up.
brawler, thanks for stopping in. Sorry, I'm way behind on the chat, so
Oh, you're
sorry.
fine. Let's catch up. Let's catch up on the
Oh,
chat.
sorry. If I get back here, Larry was saying, yeah, it was insane in IMAX, but
Nosferatu. Yeah,
yeah, and then he was saying Alien 3 is the one he was talking
I've
about.
seen Alien 3. It's definitely better than Prometheus and what's the other one? Alien. I made a joke saying Convent,
Covenant.
but it's Covenant.
Covenant is it or something?
Yeah,
I always say it
yeah.
wrong too, probably.
I think 3 is interesting. I will say that. Wait, 3 is the one with the dog, alien dog, and then there's another one, right? I think so.
I believe so.
Double
This is where
feature.
you're
This is
gonna.
your favorite franchise. Is it the one with the hybrid of the xenomorph with the dog? I'll wait for the answer.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm gonna be honest. The first two and Romulus are the ones that I know the best out of all of those. But
I
well,
haven't
then
seen Alien versus Predator
eh,
yet. I haven't seen either of
I have
those
seen
yet.
that. Yeah, I have seen that. We have Jeff in here, John Doe Gigolo in here saying, "Good evening, my friends." Get some highs back and forth. Larry was saying, and yes, T2 is great, but I've gotten older. T1 has become more of my favorite. Yeah, it's a different movie. Like you were saying, like that almost goes to like your slasher type
Hmm.
movie, and then
Like a
T2 is more
stalker
your
almost.
action. Yeah, stalker or whatever you want to say. But yeah, T2 is more your action. And maybe you can draw some comparisons between Alien and Aliens, like how
Hmm.
the direction they went from the first to the second one. But
So Megan versus Megan 2.0.
yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. So that'll be interesting. I'll watch that at some point, but I'll be interested to see how that one actually shakes out through that. Mika was saying Ripley, our favorite final girl, hands down. It's hard to not to like Ripley. Come on.
I would agree. Yes.
Jeff was saying just sub to Nads.
Oh,
There you
thank
go.
you. I'm
I'll
on the
say
road
this.
to 1K.
That's awesome. I was just to say you're on the way there. I meant to say something at the beginning. I'm bad about blanking out about this, but anybody that's joining in right now, I do have your channel linked in the description of this video. So please, 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 anybody. The thing I say, no matter how big or small people are, sometimes it's hard just to get in front of other people and to see
Hmm.
if they click with you or not. So doesn't cost you anything. There's a link down there. Please go check out Nadia's channel. Give her a sub. Check out her videos. She does a lot of live streams as well. Check them out. You might find your next favorite YouTuber. If not, no harm, no foul.
Just stay subbed and just mute me.
There you go. There you go. No harm, no foul. Just
Yeah.
go with that. And if you haven't subbed to me, you can do that too. If you no, just kidding. But no, seriously though, her link is in the. I meant to say that at the beginning. I'm good at blanking things out there, but please check it out. I'll say I've had fun hanging out with you a few times. I know we're still pretty new, like hanging out on a couple streams, but then checking out your channel. I'd say to people, it's worth checking out. Please go sub up there, see what you think
I have
about
really
it.
bad ADHD. When you're in my chat, you will distract me. And I will talk about. I was
Well,
like, wait a minute, we have topics to talk about, and somehow we'll get into flat Earth discussions with the chat. And I'm like, okay, here we are.
well, I'll tell you what. If anybody is okay following me, they'll be fine following you then too, because
Okay.
I go all over the place too. Jeff was saying pre-recorded editing can really stink.
Yes.
Yep. I like just going. I do like that the live just going on and.
Well, to me, because I'm
there you go,
I'm
too.
a little isolated in where I live. I don't. I have maybe one local friend, but I moved out here 5 years ago, so I don't have people to go hang out with in this sense. I don't. Not to be a sob story, but to me, when I go live, it's like I'm hanging out with friends. I'm able
Absolutely.
to talk about these things with my friends, and I've built friendships with a lot of great content creators throughout the last year too. So
Yeah.
it's just fun. It's just
Well,
fun to me. If it ever becomes a career, great. If not, I don't care. I just want to talk about movies with people. So
I'm right there with you because I have a lot of good friends close to me, like physically, like in real life
mhm.
or whatever you want to call it, but don't get into movies or talking about other things as much. So this is my time to be like, oh these are my friends that like to talk about these things, and you can hang out and do that. But and Mika was saying there too. Yes, live streams don't have to worry about the editing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I've kind of leaned in that pretty heavy. But Johnny was saying Megan seemed to be just another Child's Play ripoff from the trailer, but after seeing it, it's not that bad. All right, so you're
It
okay with the first one?
to me, maybe Megan would be a good introduction for like younger people to get into
Yeah,
horror and stuff. Uh, yeah, that would probably be good. I don't know. I'm not a like last year. There was a couple of them. Now I think of it. Abigail was one of them. Was kind of an intro. I didn't like that one. Tarot was horrible.
I
Yeah,
didn't see tarot. I didn't see tarot.
don't. Good concept, poor execution,
Yeah,
in my opinion. But as we say, opinions are like buttholes.
yeah. Everybody's got one.
That
Everybody's
one,
got
and
one.
sometimes they stink.
Yep, yep. What do you think of like Cabin in the Woods or something like that?
Oh, I love Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
Cabin in the Woods, great. Yeah, yeah. Cabin in the Woods, like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That's a great way
I
of
have
mixing
so
horror
much
and
fun with
comedy
that one.
too.
I
That's
have so
in
much
my
fun with that
top
one.
26 movies. I think we did a stream for. Uh, yeah, yeah. I haven't revisited Cabin in the Woods in a while. 13 Ghost. Not a lot of people love it. I
I've
loved it.
never seen it. I
It's
need to
pretty
see
good.
it. I need to see it.
In my opinion, it's one of my favorites. But
I've had some other friends say that it's worth checking out, so I need to see that one. Larry said, "No, Corey, keep the beard. Summertime's coming. This thing's gonna probably go pretty
mine
soon.
too.
I might do it in stages though. I was gonna have fun with it. At one point, I thought about like just leaving a mustache and doing a Super Trooper watch along or something like that. To get the aviator sunglasses and be like the
Well,
state trooper.
you're pretty close to 500. You're about 100 or so away from 500, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Something, yeah.
You should make it a goal for your help him get subbed, guys, to 500, and then he'll do the Super Troopers look and do a watch party. There you go.
There you go. I might have to do something. Maybe I'll have to come up with a different one because my son. This is how we're talking about like getting older and things. My son is actually getting married this year, and so I think
Aww.
this needs to be gone before the wedding. So we'll see. Or yeah, if it doesn't happen before then, to do it for that one, I'll have to come up with a different challenge. But yeah, it's crazy to be already talking about that with kids. But Johnny was saying Corey is our very own Nick Offerman up there talking about movies. Yep, there you go. Hey, I've been called worse things. It's okay. Oh, that's when I was trying to think of Tom Hardy's name. I was blanking on it. Yep. Oh, is that from your Righteous Gemstones?
Baby Billy's Bible Bunkers. If you want to see all of Walton Goggins, like I'm talking all of him,
I did
season
see
four.
I did see an interview though. They had a stand-in for him for that.
No,
Yeah.
really? Oh, I'm disappointed.
I
But
just
actually,
wrecked your I just wrecked your world.
relieved a little bit because it was a little disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. For the energy that this man puts out there, it was a little disappointing. But yeah.
He's funny. Oh, I like him.
Oh, he's great, especially
Meek,
Fallout. Yeah.
yeah. No, I have a good time with him. Mika was saying Mobland is one of our is on our watch list. Helen Mirren was the draw. Yep, she's in there. Yep, heard good things. Yeah, there's a lot of big names in there. Helen Mirren, Pierce Brosnan, Tom Harding.
Hmm.
It's one. I think all the streaming services got a little smart and started doing weekly releases of the series now instead of just dropping it all at once. So people just sub for like 1 month and binge their series
Yeah.
and then leave. So it was just it's only 2 episodes in. I like mobster type movies and shows, so I'm into it so far. Um,
I'm currently working my way through Deadwood with my husband because it's our first watch through, and
oh
then
yeah.
I'm doing my own watch through for the first time of The Wire because I did The
Oh
Sopranos last year.
yeah.
So I'm working my way through that.
I've never seen the whole thing of The Wire, but I watched that for quite a while, way back when that was going on in the day. And that's a good series. That would be
It's
one
an
I would.
intense.
Yeah, I'd like to go back and go through that one.
Someone said, give the first anybody listening to this because I know the first episode kind of turns people off a little bit because it's. I don't want to me, it's not boring because I like those type of storytelling where it makes you kind of have to puzzle things together and it just gives you little by little. Someone told me you just gotta go blow through the first 7 episodes of the first season. Once you get to episode 7, it takes off from there and you'll be hooked. But
Yeah.
I had the same thing with Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad to me, the first season, I tried so many times to get through it. Finally, somebody's like, you just gotta power through it. Once you get to season 2, you're gonna be good. And I did, and I think it's one of the best shows out there. However, I think Better Call Saul is better,
Ah, okay.
in my opinion.
Okay. Larry's jumping in with some other series.
I've
Vice
seen Vice
Principals.
Principals. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, if you like gemstones, you go like Vice Principals. Yeah.
I've heard funny things about that one. Corey, were you able to start from yet? No, I have not.
I love From.
I'll
I
write it down
I
again.
did
I'm always bad about. I write so many notes to myself.
this year I did a stream. I had a weekly stream with a panel for it, and then I have a friend Julie Deep Dives. She will do 6 hour streams about From. She actually had one of the and Double Feature will know. The man in yellow like shows up on her streams all the time just to talk about the show. An actor, like her channel is completely done by From. Where I'll do a 2 hour panel talk through of the show. Right, we'll talk about the character development. She will go into like lore and details, and it's great. She's fantastic. Her channel's great. So if you
I need
like
to check it
From,
out. I need to check it out. I
yes,
wrote it down again, Mika. Sorry, I'm bad. That's the thing about these streams. So many times I always have a pad of paper next to me and a pen, but you get so many recommendations, and like we were talking about earlier, there's only so much you can watch,
yeah.
and then sometimes but I'll have to try to check that out. And talk about things shaming people. Johnny, right here. I've certainly shamed Corey about bad mouthing The Big Lebowski. I
Not
never
a fan.
I never bad mouthed it. But you're talking about how you were defending a movie and got a little push back a little bit. I never bad mouthed it. I just said on a stream that I wished I appreciated it and enjoyed it as much as a lot of friends that I know that really, really get into it. So that's not me. I purposely upgraded it to the 4K when that came out from the Blu-ray. So I don't hate it, but
I have two hot takes which might make people unsuffer me. So
okay.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I think The Crow is overrated. Saw it for the first time. I think The
Don't
Crow is very much overrated.
don't look at like the 3 copies I have right behind me.
I have the comic. I just think it's just overrated. It's not a bad
I have a
movie.
lot of nostalgia for it. Yeah.
People hyped it
Yeah.
too much to me. To like, oh, you were and I was a '90s kid. I'm gonna love this. This is gonna be just. Maybe I just saw it too late. I don't have the nostalgia for it. My second hot take: Gladiator is also overrated too. Great movie, great. I can appreciate it. Great
I'm
storytelling,
joking.
character development, cinematography, color scheme. Love it. Great. Overhyped, in my opinion. Very much overhyped. It's all right. I would never reach for it again. But again, maybe I'm just not the demographic for it.
That's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
That's
please
okay.
don't unsub. But
Yeah, right. There goes that sub that you got just a little bit. No,
yeah,
I'm just kidding.
this interview is over.
We're done, people. Apparently, I'm having technical difficulties again. No, absolutely not. I've been there many times where it's just like, yeah, I'm not saying I hate it. I just know I don't like it on a level that I know
It's
some
not for
people
you.
do, you
Yeah.
know? And
You can appreciate it that it is a good film. Like I can appreciate certain movies are good movies. They're great movies. They deserve all the praise. Not for me.
yeah,
It's
that's
okay.
o- that's okay. That is okay for sure. Johnny was saying here, kids destroying theaters during Minecraft are all that shows up on my um, FYP.
For you page now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I'm an old guy apparently. I'm like,
it's
what
okay.
is that acronym? Okay, so kids are destroying movie theaters while watching the movie. I did. I guess I hadn't heard
I don't know.
anything about
Does
that.
he mean like, oh, they're destroying it because they're having a good time, or they're physically destroying it?
I don't know, Johnny. We need more information. I don't know. Larry's worried. Larry's worried about me. Corey Badmouth and Lebowski. And I didn't. I didn't badmouth it. I just didn't. And this was so Mika and Kira were saying how much they enjoyed Woman in the Yard. So that was why it looked interesting to me anyway. But then I heard them talking about it on a stream not too long ago, and I want to check it out. That's one I want to check out sometime here.
Watch something happy afterwards.
Yeah, right. Go have an ice cream and pet a puppy
Yeah,
or something.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. Mika was saying yes, definitely a film about how you process grief, depression, and survivor's guilt. Okay.
hmm
Wow. So just be in the
Yeah.
right spot for it.
Very well done too. To have, especially the woman in the art themselves, the entity or demon or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
how it is a like projection of that in the movie. So well done because it could have been very campy, especially because it came from Blumhouse. It's
Hmm.
a win for Blumhouse for me, and there's not a lot of wins in Blumhouse's bucket for me lately. I will never forgive them for Night Swim.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a bad one. We're see this is how far I'm behind. Mika was saying 3 is the one where
Alien
she's in
3, yeah.
prison, and then Larry was saying, yeah, that's the one with the dog or the ox, depending on the cut you watch. Okay, what kind of animal they have? We got
What they
Laren in here.
hybrided, yeah.
What's that? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
What they like mix the xenomorph with the
Okay,
DNA. Either it comes. I saw it out of a dog, so that was the cut I watched.
interesting. Yeah, Laren's in here saying hi to both of us. Sorry, I'm late. Oh, no worries, man. We're just hanging out. You're not late. You're right on time. He was watching The Matrix. Okay.
Another hot take.
Oh, oh, oh. How many people do you want to unsub from you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Again, can appreciate it. It's a good movie. Not for me. Just
That's
not
okay.
for me.
That's
Just
okay.
not for me. And I
You,
saw it when it was released. So this was not, oh, I watched it this year or last year. I saw it opening a week or whatever when it first came out and stuff and was hyped about it as a kid. But it is not a movie I would reach for nor put on my top list.
so, 2 of the movies you've really hyped up here are probably 2 of the movies I've seen the most in the actual theater. The Matrix and The
Oh.
Crow.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what's funny. But it hit at the right time for me for both of those. And you think about the time frame, it was before streaming was really
hmm
going, and we had way more movie theaters, and we always had, at least around us, we always called them the second run theaters, where the new movie would hit the nice theater first, and then it would leave there and then go to the
Oh, the
second run theater.
dollar theaters.
Yeah, the
That's what
dollar
my dad
theater.
would take me and my
Yeah,
sisters for when we didn't have money. He would just take us there and we would see movies
yeah.
there. And also, when I was a teenager, before assigning seats and stuff,
Yeah.
we would movie hop.
Yeah.
So we would buy a ticket for. I'm sorry, but we would buy a ticket for one movie, but then see three movies. We would just hop and just get seats and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
now it's like assigned seating. It's I do like assigned seating because I was one of the few people that would have to stand outside for Marvel because my husband is a huge Marvel nerd, very big in the comics and when the MCU. So he would work and I would be at work and I'd have to sit in line when the theater opened so we get good seats for Captain America.
Right.
So yeah, yep.
No, that those second runs though, there'd be times that's like you saying having a comfort movie or comfort show that you put on.
Mhm.
You know, you probably should watch something different, but that's just something you can go back to. And that was before streaming. And when it was like $1, and I'm like, oh, I got an hour or so to kill, and
Yeah.
oh, they're showing The Matrix again. Oh, I'll jump in there and watch it for a little bit for $1 to waste. You know, not waste, but you know what I mean. Like spend a little bit of
Oh,
time.
especially if you have kids too, like taking them to the theater and stuff. I
Yep.
mean, and you want to see the movie as well. And I think those theaters are a little bit more lenient on kids making noises and stuff because half the time the theater's empty anyway.
Yep. Yep. Nope. I'm all for it, but oh, there you go. Well, we'll see how far
Uh,
I'm behind. Maybe they already unsubbed though after they heard
yeah, they
me
have
talking
sub
about
for
movie.
my Matrix thing.
With Mika and with Johnny too here. So Johnny was saying, "You seem like
Oh,
a
thanks,
cool
Johnny.
kid." And then Laren was saying, "Hey, Mika, and quite possibly Kira." Yep, you never know if it's both of them or not. But I'm hurrying. I know I'm way behind on this. So, like I said, I'm
Oh, you're
always trying
fine.
to balance this out. But Nanette, what's going on? Saying hello, everyone. Thanks for jumping in here and saying hi. Um, I'm gonna try to run through this really quick. Nanette was saying, "Hello, Nadia. I have ADHD as well, and so I have no problem with you going all over the place."
Sometimes my chat just takes me down a rabbit hole, but I'm okay
Oh,
with it. I'm
I'll do
okay.
that too.
Yeah.
I've had some live streams where it's just me solo, and I'm like, oh, just in case nobody's here, this is the things that I'm going to talk about. But then you're lucky enough to have some friends jump into the chat, and then all of a sudden you don't talk about anything that
Nope,
you thought
nothing.
about, like ahead of the time. But that's is it a good thing? Like you just have some friends hanging out, and yeah, you're just shooting the breeze. Um, all right. I'm going to try to speed run through here to make sure I at least say hi to people that are jumping in. Nanette was saying, I'm not watching Tarot. The commercial didn't convince me of it being a good
Not a
movie.
good movie. Great concept. Very interesting concept. Poor execution.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I heard mixed things about that one. I did not see that. We
Like
got
it
some.
could have been a very good, scary horror movie, word of mouth kind of deal that people would be interested in seeing. Just it was just a cash grab, in my opinion.
Larry was saying also, if you haven't dropped them likes, yeah, if you feel like it, go for it. We never mind. We don't mind at all. Mika was saying The Wire's a great show. Yeah, I've not gone through the whole thing, but what I've seen, I really enjoyed that. That'd be one to
Everybody
go back
talks
through
about
it.
it
Yeah. Well,
as
it
one of the
won
best written shows.
so many awards things.
Hmm.
That was like one of those original ones. HBO was on a run for a while where they had so many series that were winning, or at least were being nominated for all these different awards and everything. That was like one of those that I think
And
was
what happened, HBO? But now
yeah,
they
yeah.
have the White Lotus, which I hear is pretty good, and Last of Us is coming back for season two.
I haven't seen
They
any of
have
those. Yeah, I haven't seen any of
they have
those.
some really good like one off. Like I always recommend The Outsider, which is based off a Stephen King book. The limited mini series they did was actually really good adaptation of it. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Johnny was saying
such
he's
good writing.
agreeing with you. The writing on the wire right there. Then I was asking, I'm sorry, Corey, I didn't hear what you said. You were watching. Right now I was going through Invincible, and as I hit my microphone, uh, Invincible and Mobland are two
Do you
that I
watch
was just
anime?
a little bit. I'm open to it. Is there something that you're like it's worth checking out?
Have you not been on the internet at all in the last couple of weeks where everybody has been praising solo leveling?
I no, I don't know about it. 'Cause
All right, so it's a Korean manga that got changed into an anime. That it is a very simple story of the hero's journey. You're rooting for the underdog, but it's so well done. It is so well done. There's 2 seasons out on Crunchyroll. Um, I highly recommend. I don't want to spoil anything for it because if I give anything
what's it
away,
called?
Solo Leveling. So SOLO leveling.
I I don't know, but like I said, I don't ever claim to be up on everything. So
Yeah, it's if you
I'll
like
look
it,
it up.
if
I'll look
you're
it up.
kind of just teetering into it, it's very good. I think it will win Anime of the Year this year. The animation's just so well done, and it probably won't come back for a couple of years, to be honest, for the next season. But they ended it well enough that season 2 could be a complete ending, and you're
Okay.
fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah, some of those they do better than they think they are going to, and they don't
hmm
already have the green light for the next season, kind of a thing. So that's where there's sometimes a bigger gap in between some of the seasons. But
Yeah, I think the creator already had projects or the animations. It's one of the two. Either the creator of the animation studio had projects already in the roster that they're working on that they can't put their attention to, which I actually like. To me, that's a good reason. Like, don't if you want to put the time and love into it and have that availability instead of just rushing something out. I'll be there. I'll be around for season 3 if it ever does happen.
oh, I wrote that down. I'll have to look that up.
Sorry,
Uh, no, that's all right.
I
Larry was
still
saying,
have
agreed.
no.
Better Call Saul is way better than
hmm
Breaking Bad, at least for me.
Yeah.
And then he's also saying Sons of Anarchy probably as a show I was hooked on within the first 30 minutes. And then Miko was saying,
Oh,
what's
Julie deep dives. Uh, she's got like a little woman in a blue icon with waves behind it. So it's just Julie deep dives. You'll see a bunch of like from stuff on her.
I wonder if I can find it.
I wonder if I can. Can I put in the chat? Am I able to?
I don't know
Oh, hold on, I
if.
can.
Oh, wait. I think I might have just. Julie B. Deep Dives?
Yeah, Julie B deep dives. That's
Okay.
her. Yep.
I got it here. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, she's great.
I'm dropping it in the chat right now. That should be the right one. Julie B. Deep Dives. Well, and I just subbed to her as well to check that out. That's why I love doing this. You always, like I said, there's a lot of a lot of people like all different sizes of YouTubers that you just don't run across. But if you get them put in front of you, you never know. That might be the next one that you really click with, and you have a good time
I
watching
always
or something.
invite people. To me, I never look at the sub count. To me, it doesn't matter. When I have people on to panels, you could have 2 subs,
That's why
you could
you
have a
said yes
million
to come onto my
subs.
channel.
No,
Just kidding.
well,
I'm
to me,
kidding.
it's just I've been there though. I'm
I
on the
know.
road
I know.
myself, so I have been there where I've had only 1 sub or 2 subs, and then I have friends. I have friends who have channels that are 1 point something million subs, and I'll go
Yeah.
on their show and they'll come on mine. I think it's supposed to be about building community and supporting each other because we all have been at some point on this rodeo road
Oh
that we're
yeah.
going on.
Well, and what's cool is when you can run into people that no matter if they're still at 10, 50, 100, 1,000, a million, whatever, that they're still just act the same,
Yeah,
and they're just like you said, like, I don't care if you have 400 subs. Come on. Come on.
one of my favorite YouTubers, and he's such a genuine great person. Is Films Comics Explained, and he's got like over 1 million subs. But he's a genuine movie lover. He has me on his show for movies and stuff like that. He's come on to my channel a couple times, and he just genuine, just all around, just a great person to know, and just a sweetheart. And again, it's the same thing I do. Like I will never mistreat somebody just because they have less subs than me or more subs than me. We're all supposed to be helping each other. We're all supposed to be supporting. We're all
Right.
nerds at the end of the day. Why are we being mean to each other?
Right. Right. I'll drop his. I think I just found it too, and I just subbed to him. I
Yeah,
had not come,
he's great.
so I'll drop him in the chat as
And he
well.
does movie night streams where he'll have movies. I think they're moving to Sunday night. He's taking a little bit of a break for a bit for travel, but he's great too. His channel. Everybody, anybody who I have on panels, I will invite anybody as long as you're respectful and you want to talk about this stuff.
Yeah. Talking about respectful, Larry, right there. I
This is
think the interview is over. I think
did
I'm
it.
behind.
Triangular Crow or Matrix?
That
Which
was
one
one of
was
those.
bigger?
I'm far enough behind. It was one of those. I always love like catching up on some of them later, and you're like, which thing did I offend you about?
Yeah, which one was it?
Which one was it again? I said that does it. If Nadia was in the chat, I'd put her time out for 500 million minutes. Oh, there we go. That's all right. I say some things like that too. Like Johnny won't let me forget my comment about the Big Lebowski. Nadia, Nanette, sorry, was saying, Nadia, I like the movie that you said that you were
That were
overrated, but
overrated.
I've been watching them for years, and I've been one of those people that don't care what other people think about movies. You can like what you want.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I can butcher people's comments really bad sometimes on streams too.
I
So
mean, at
sorry.
the end of the day, it's your time. So, would you rather spend the time watching something you're going to enjoy, or would you rather just avoid it because someone said they didn't like it?
Right.
Sounds very boring to me.
Yep. Um, Let me see here. I'm gonna run through some of these really quickly. Everybody, thanks for throwing those in. If I skip something that you just said, oh, Nanette, you got another sub there.
Oh,
There you go. Always love seeing that.
it
Hilarious.
was
Oh, it's
definitely the
definitely over
crow.
the crow.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen the new one. I haven't seen the reboot or remake.
I have not seen the. I have not seen the remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it. I have not seen that one yet either. I've heard a lot of mixed things about that, but
He would
I.
definitely hate if I said the remake was good, but the original was.
But honestly, it really wouldn't offend me because I know there's some movies I like a lot that are not. I can look at it and say I know it's not a great movie, but it hit just at the right time. I had a
Hmm.
great time maybe with family or friends or whatever, and you got the nostalgia for the movie. There's some of those movies that I'm just like, I love that movie, but I can completely understand if you're just like, no.
Yeah.
I won't take offense to it. I just know that sometimes some things just line up when you
Yeah.
I even have that with music too. Like certain bands or songs. You'll never offend me if you're like, no, that's not for me. But I just something happened in my life. I have a connection with it and can really enjoy it. Well, talking about this, we're talking about movies and like our opinions on them and things like that. And I know on your channel you throw out videos reviewing movies.
Hmm.
Have you always been comfortable doing the reviews of movies? I've kind of like been hesitant doing that. I just was kind of curious what your feelings were on
So you can have a bit of I don't know what the phrase is. It's where you feel you don't belong in the space.
it.
Um,
Yeah,
because I have such great friends who are very in depth movie reviewers. So they will go through themes, lores, stuff like that. To me, I I would love to be there at that point, but I don't think it's for me. Because I'm very ADHD right brain.
hmm
Uh, I always end my reviews with if you liked the movie, I would really like to know why. If you didn't like the movie, I would really like to know why too
yeah,
as well. I wouldn't say you shouldn't be hesitant to do it because not everybody's opinion is going to match up. Even if you and I like the same movie, we might like the same movie for different reasons too
sure, sure,
as well. So I would never be hesitant to put myself out there. Uh, I was very hesitant. So when I started content creating with my husband, when we did the pop culture stuff, we were audio first. So we didn't even do camera. We didn't have a YouTube channel. We were just audio. And he and I are big nerds. We have different things we're nerdy about, and then we have stuff that we're nerdy together with. And we would just talk about the nerdy stuff we enjoy.
yeah,
When it became for solo stuff, I was a little hesitant to put it out there because I'm thinking, who wants to really hear this random chick's opinion on movies? Like, what do I have to bring to the table to say it? But a lot of people are like, well, you worked in the industry for so long, you look at movies differently. You're experiencing a lot of these movies for the first time too, as well. Why not just give your opinion out there? So I don't know if that answered your question. I think I just circled
yeah.
around it, but
No.
Uh, I wouldn't be hesitant to do it because if you keep saying you're hesitant to do it, you'll never do it.
Yeah.
Also, be open for criticism,
Yeah.
both good and bad.
Yeah.
I my friends know they can reach out to me and they can say, "Hey, Nadia, that video felt really flat. You need to change this and this," or "Hey, that was great." Or I had one friend tell me she's like, "Stick to streaming." I was like, "Okay," and that's fine because they want to see me be successful as much as they are, or vice versa. So they're like, "Stick to streaming. You do well streaming, not so
I'm wait.
much recording."
I'm waiting for somebody to reach out to me and be like, Corey, go audio only, maybe, or something like that. I don't know if you need video on that one. Almost didn't have video this one with all my technical difficulties at the beginning of it, but no, that's one thing I think I've struggled with doing some reviews of movies and not, like when you're trying to do like a spoiler free review. I
Oh,
think
that's
there's a
hard
little
now.
bit of an art to do that review to give enough information to be like useful to somebody to listen to it, but not like spoil it for somebody. But I don't know if you run into that as well when you're talking about some of them or.
My recorded videos, I will always do non-spoiler first, and then I will tell them when there will be a spoiler for the movie if they do want to know what the spoilers are, and I'll warn them and I'll timestamp it and like, okay, we're going into spoilers. Um, Usually with my non-spoiler reviews, it's more of like the concept, the story pacing. Is it really worth your time? I rate
Yeah.
movies on 3 scales. It's worth opening weekend to go see this in theaters. Pay the money, go see it. You could wait for it to stream.
Yep.
You could even wait for it to stream on a stream. And when I say wait for it to stream, I mean like wait for it to stream on a streaming service you're already sub for.
Right.
Don't buy it digitally. Don't sub to a new stream. Just wait for it.
Right.
Or don't even waste your fucking time.
Yeah. Yep.
Just don't even waste your time.
Yep.
Please don't watch a recap video. Watch somebody's like 3 hour description about it. Don't waste your time. You'll be more entertained with that.
Yep.
But
I think I'm pretty simplistic with mine too. Like a lot of times I'm kind of like it's almost like what you're talking about there too, where it's kind of like a thumbs up, like or like a no.
yeah,
you know.
and things could change. So one movie I got to see very early last year was The Wolfman that came out in
Oh yeah.
January,
Yeah. Yep.
and I was under review embargo, and I hated that fucking movie.
I
Have you seen
I
it?
did not enjoy it. I
The more
it was
the
not what I was
review
expecting.
oh,
It was not what I was expecting.
The Wolfman is one of my favorite Universal
Yeah.
monsters
Yeah.
from the original,
Yeah.
and I went to go see this as like one of those sign where you sign up and they take your cell phone from you and they give you an iPad at the end and you review the movie and stuff. And I went with my husband and we had a friend with us, and we both wanted to walk out of a free movie. And the review, and mind you, I saw it earlier in last year, so I had almost a full year, about half a year maybe, of just waiting for the review embargo to because I couldn't post about it, I couldn't talk
Right.
about it, I couldn't
Right.
review it, nothing. And then when the Halloween Horror Nights came out with the Wolfman makeup, and everybody's like, "Nah, this can't be what he looks like in the movie." Yes, it is.
You're like,
So as soon like at midnight, the review came up. I was like, I need to. I was like, this movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The relation, Julia Garner should retire from acting. This is not for her. The chemistry is so bad. It's not scary. It relies on jump scares. It's not the Wolfman. The 2010 or 20 Del Toro Wolfman that came
oh yeah.
out
Yeah.
with Anthony Hopkins that was like people like are mid. Apologize. I apologize to that movie because like this movie is just awful. And granted, people can like it. Like I think it was. I'd rate it like a 2 because I saw it for free, and the color scheme was okay. I think that's what I rated for 2. I know somebody who loved it, gave it
Yeah.
like a
Yep.
6, 7 out of 10, thought it was
Yep.
great. I'm like, how? But
Yeah.
I also think a lot of people who review movies follow the trend of, oh, this movie's great, I have to talk about it. Like, they're afraid to kind of go against the grain.
I could see
And
that.
one of the things, one of the first movies I reviewed on my channel was Trap.
Oh, okay.
which I call crap.
I was like, where are you gonna go with it? But yeah, I was wondering. But
But I had somebody left a comment on it saying, "Oh my god, an honest reviewer, somebody who's giving an honest opinion about this movie." Because most of the people I saw who reviewed this movie was like, "Oh, M Night Shyamalan's back. This is great. The story of Josh Hartnett carries this." And I was like, "This, I don't know what you guys are seeing, but these are the problems I'm seeing online." The dialogue was horrendous. There's a particular dialogue scene between where he like inserts himself in the movie talking to Josh Hartnett. It just doesn't flow well with it. And this commenter's like, "You have a sub for me. Like I'm going to sub to your channel now because you're actually honest." And that's what I want to bring to the table.
yeah,
I don't want to just I don't care about care about getting far. I just want to be honest with people. I want to, because people are going to be spending their money sometimes based on your opinion.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, if you keep on saying everything's great, and people go out and watch it, and then they're like, "What were you watching?" You know, they might not come back to listen to your,
Or they might love it, and
or
that's
they might love it too. Yeah,
perfectly
for
fine.
sure.
Except
Yeah,
for the Wolfman.
that's where you'll, yeah, except for that one.
Except for the Wolfman.
Um, I
Movie
did
first.
think, if you're gonna say a positive, I think the sound design was good in it.
Yeah.
I'm trying here. I'm trying to give something
I
positive to
yeah.
it.
I just feel like sometimes we get, as content creators, we get into our own head of, if I go against a movie that everybody's praising,
Yeah,
nobody's gonna watch my video. Studios aren't gonna refer to me as a content creator to get early access reviews and stuff like that.
yeah,
And my advice is no, stick to your guns, stick to who you are. People can actually tell who people will know who's genuine and who's not.
yeah.
They will figure it out.
Uh,
And I am a person. I have a very small channel, but I've had directors on. I've reached out to people, and I've been treated the same as if I had 20 million subs. So like, I people need to not let your opinion hold back. If you don't like a movie, don't. That's fine. But you're gonna have movies you're gonna love and describe those too. So
yeah,
uh,
no, absolutely.
I'm with the horror cat dad. Abigail was meh.
Oh, I'll have to catch up with that there.
I was like, did I
I was
watch
just,
the same movie too? I'm with
I
you.
was just seeing Holland was saying he's still trying to trick me into watching the 2024 Crow.
2024. That's Bill Skarsgård.
And then I don't know which one that one was, but Larry was saying, "Oh, from what I've heard, you're not missing much." I don't know which one that one was. We got Dell in here. What's going on, Dell? On movies, saying what's up.
What's up?
Thanks for jumping in here. Let me run through here just really quickly. Oh, that's probably the one you were just looking at right
Yeah,
there.
Abigail and Cuckoo. I was like, everybody was praising these two
I haven't seen
movies.
that one.
Like, what are we watching, folks? What are what are we doing? But it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
And
To
Dell
be
was
fair,
saying right.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't see a lot of bad reviews of Trap. To be honest, Del, maybe it's just my For You page, but I just saw countless people in the community too, just praising this movie. I'm like, I would like to know what you all have taken as edibles because I would like them to
Please
take it, but it's okay.
send some my
Yeah,
way.
please send them my way.
Because I want to enjoy movies as much as you do.
Yes.
um, oh, my chat's not catching up here. Oh, here we go. Nanette was saying there's a movie that I can't stand that everybody says was great. Knock at the Cabin Door. Has anybody seen it? And if they
It
have,
sounds
did you like it?
familiar.
That's the Shyamalan one, isn't it? Knock at the Cabin.
Oh,
Or
I have the book.
isn't that the Shyamalan
Yeah,
one?
I think that's what you knock at the cabin door or something. Or
Or
no, it's well, the book is Cabin at the End of the World. I think the movie is called. They changed the title. Knock at the Cabin. Book's better. Movie was okay. As somebody who's read the book and I saw the movie's pretty close on par with the book, but the book is definitely better, as usually things are. But
I didn't mind it too much, but I was expecting more out of the finale, I guess, of the movie. I haven't read the book.
yeah,
I've heard the book does a better job with it
yep.
too. But,
Well, because the book allows, as a reader, for you to utilize your imagination of like things going on, and I think sometimes concepts like that don't translate well to screen
mm.
without overdoing it with CGI or over the top dialogue or stuff. But yeah, read the book. I wouldn't watch the movie again. Just read the book.
We got Dell in here saying I saw a knock at the cabin door. Like most of his movies, good premise, solid start, poo ending.
And I mean, I like Signs. Signs scared the crap out of me as a kid. I like
I like Signs.
Split.
I like
I
Signs.
like some of his movies, but I think Trap was just that was rough. That was
Yeah.
rough. That was so rough. Almost 2 hours. Yeah.
Yep. Then I was saying, here's another movie.
Oh yeah, David Gore Green's Halloween trilogy.
Yep.
Who did? What did he do? The Exorcist Believer, I think, which was shit too. That's a franchise, which I'm interested to see what Mike Flanagan does because he's coming. The next installment of the Exorcist franchise is going to be done by him, and I love Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
I'm a Mike Flanagan stan. I know some people don't. I know some people call his stuff elevated horror. I just call it horror. I don't elevated horror. Midnight Mass is one of my favorite TV series. I even have it's right here under all my comics the official like Midnight Mass like art book
Oh yeah.
from it. So, but I'm a Catholic, so it hit a little differently.
No, I can see that. One that was recent watch to me. I know I was late to the game on it, but was Hush when that finally got.
Hush is great. It's a great home invasion movie. Hush and the original The Strangers, two are my favorite home invasion movies.
Oh, that was another one that talking about home invasion. So okay, here's my ADHD. I'm going all over the place too. But another one that was recommended to me a lot was Them. Have you ever seen that one?
On
It's a
the TV series,
no, it's a movie. It's a international film. I'm trying to think where it might be a French. There might be a TV series as well though, but there's the one I'm talking about is a movie. I think it's from like maybe or 2006 maybe. But I think it's a home invasion, supposed to be kind of a creepy.
I love home invasions. That's another genre that I like. Oh, here we go. Them. French couple. French horror. I could get
Yeah,
down with that.
yep,
High
that's it.
tension. I liked.
That's it.
Just doesn't have a good rewatch value to it
Yeah.
once you know the twist.
I haven't watched that one yet either, but them I actually bought the I have it physically behind me, but I have not watched it yet, but
You collect movies like I collect comic books.
sometimes you get around to them, sometimes you don't.
I'm very particular about what I buy physical media for.
Yep.
Granted, my husband has a collection, but I'm very particular what I'll spend my money for. But
Yeah.
comics, I've got everything behind me is either a book or a comic. Those are like my current favorite. And then in the other room, I've got a couple long boxes too, as well. But I don't read mainstream stuff, and by mainstream is like I don't read Marvel or I have some DC, and I do have some of it, but it's not my thing. I read a lot of horror comics. Like
Yeah.
this is all horror and sci-fi and fantasy comics. Oh, hold on, I just saw it. Haha!
Oh, the crow. There you go. Don't try to redeem yourself now. No, you already did that. You already did it. Well, see, now Larry's already gone. He probably didn't even see you say that. He was saying good night,
Aw,
everybody.
good night, Larry.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in here, man. That's funny. um, but no, it's yeah, it's that's one genre. That's a subgenre of horror movies. So we were talking about like certain things that you can't stand. You can watch anything except this like one thing or something. But I'll know some people that home invasion movies are off limits for them. That
Oh,
they will not do those at all.
yeah. Aliens like Little Green Men or
Yeah,
spiders. Don't do. I do like Dark Horse comics. I have quite a few of those as well by them. I have a ton. I almost made a comic book channel, but I don't think I don't think a comic I would do well as a comic book channel because I have a particular niche of like genre that I read. I
yeah,
don't follow the newer stuff, so I think it wouldn't have done well. But I do cover comics on my channel. So I did a breakdown of Hellboy, the Crooked Man, both the comic and the movie, the comparison to it. And I will sometimes say, "Hey guys, look what I got as comics," and bring them up too, because I always wanted my channel not just to be about movies, but about TV shows, books, comics, anything in the horror genre
Right.
to cover, because I love all of it. So
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't like put you in a corner. You can talk about whatever you want to that way.
it pretty much is. That's pretty much my channel. Is like I can talk about pretty much anything I want.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it. You got a hi
Hey,
there.
Jacob.
We got Jacob in here saying hi to you. Jacob, thanks for dropping in here. Appreciate it. Nanette was saying Dark Horse is my favorite, and they're pretty much the only comic book creators that I own.
Yeah, I've got to move my stuff around. Actually, I can. Not a lot of people can see, but this shelf is kind of bending in because
You're
of all
getting a
those
little too
books.
much up there.
Yeah, all the stuff behind me is like mostly Stephen King editions and stuff.
um, well, we've been talking about the movies, the horror movies, your comics, things like that. Do you have movies that you like an escape from the horror? You know, like a genre that you like to go into that's kind of your palate cleanser to kind of get away from it a little bit?
Um, I don't know if I have a palate cleanser to say. Like my first favorite movie is The Thing, but my second all-time favorite movie is Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
So I like more dramas, maybe historical stuff. I'm not really big on romance or rom coms.
Yeah.
Like maybe few and far between. Like The Wedding Singer
Yeah.
is one of them. Usually when I get home from the movie, I'll put on Seinfeld, something like that, to kind of do a palate cleanse to get my mind in
Yeah.
a better place.
No,
But
that's good.
unless it's a movie about the afterlife and like what happens afterwards. So one movie that scared me last year, which didn't scare a lot of people, was Heretic,
Oh yeah.
because there's
Oh yeah.
it's great monologues, great
Yeah.
discussions of like what happens when you go. Is there something there? What if it's just nothing? And that kind of stuff kind of gets under my skin. So that scared me. Those type of movies scare me more than somebody with a chainsaw running around trying to hack people into pieces.
Heretic was a lot better, and I didn't know what to expect when I saw that one, but I like
It's
that
very
one.
well done.
Yeah.
Camera work is great in that one too.
Yeah.
But some I know some people who thought Heretic was boring and it didn't
Yeah.
scare them, but there will be movies that are like hacker slasher type films that scare people. You know. So, but yeah, I would probably historic drama. It's probably my favorite to kind of do a palate cleanse if I have to.
Yeah. You know, it's always kind of nice to have something a little different that you kind of run to
Yeah,
a little bit once in a while, just something a little different to watch. But Nanette was saying I have a lot of Stephen King books.
I
Yeah.
do too. I do too. Plus, again, my husband's not big into horror at all. Like one or two movies, maybe at most, is on his list. But so he is, in a sense, my palate cleanse because he'll want to watch something action, comedy,
Yeah.
anime, something. So that will help with a palate cleanse for it.
Yeah. Well, and like you were talking about earlier, the solo leveling,
Solo leveling.
I gotta
I
check
would be
that out
curious to
here
see
sometime here.
what you think of it. If you didn't like it, I'm unsubbing.
I gotta come up with something to start getting people to unsub for me. No,
Just have
everybody's
hot
gotta,
takes like I do.
yeah, throw some hot takes out there, see how many unsubs you get. But no, I'll have to look that up and see if I can check some of that out. I'm open. I have not watched a lot of anime, but I'm open to it. I'll definitely check it out. Uh, got Smirk in here saying good evening, Corey and Nadia.
Hi,
Thanks for
Smirk.
jumping in here. But yeah, no, I. So with anime, how'd you get into that? Is that something that you'd been interested in for a long time, or somebody just kind of threw out a recommendation and got you into it, or how did that
I'm
come
a
into the
'90s
mix?
kid. We grew
There
up
you
on
go. So
Sailor
you
Moon
like
and
it? Yep.
Dragon Ball Z.
There you
So
go. Okay.
that's what yeah. Again, anime is very particular to me. I have particular taste for it. I like more of the scary horror thriller animes,
Yeah.
fantasy kind of stuff. But in the last couple of years, because my husband's big into it, I got a little bit back into it. So like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, uh, are like the main two that we both really like and are seated for when they premiere and such.
No. Okay. No, it's curious because I just know that's a little bit of departure from some of the other things we're talking about, not in a bad way, but it's just, it's like, how did that come into the mix? And it's always interesting here when people get introduced to something maybe a little bit different than what their normal wheelhouse is. And, but it's cool that you're open to it and but like you said, 90s kids, you grew
Yeah,
up
Dragon Ball
with a
Z,
lot
Sailor
of that.
Moon.
Yeah. So you
But
were
I think
already kind of in it. And
I think people think anime though is for kids mostly, right? For
mm,
teenagers and such. But there are some really great animes that are not for kids. That
yeah.
I mean, great movies growing up too, like Perfect Blue and such, that tell really good stories. They just use animation as the way to do so. And I think in the last at least 10 years, I think adult animation, and by that I mean animation geared towards adults, have come more into the foreground. Where I think if you had said maybe 10, 15 years ago, hey, I watch anime as a 30-year-old adult, somebody's like, what's going on here? But I think there's some really great stories told. One really great one that Netflix put out was Blue Eyed Samurai.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Really great. And that was one that a lot of people initially were turned off for because it was in the vein of when everybody was, I don't want to say complaining, because sometimes they had justified reasons, but we're like, oh, they're just going to marry Sue something. They're just going to put a strong female. They're going to be no. The story makes sense of why our lead is a woman who's a samurai. It
Yeah.
makes sense with the trials and tribulations that she goes through, and I think it went on the under the radar for a lot of people, and it was more word of mouth. But it uses anime. I think animation is great. I think if they were ever to redo Game of Thrones, bring it back as an animation because
Yeah.
you can do a lot more with it, more affordable.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Uh,
say the money wise, you
yeah,
could probably, yeah, pull a lot
yeah.
more stuff off.
A lot of people think, like I said, a lot of people, and granted, there are some great animations that are kind of geared towards younger kids and teens and stuff like One Piece, Naruto. Before Dragon's most anime made to us was just yes, late night.
Yeah.
Was it Showtime or Cinemax would have like an animation hour, and I saw some really adult things. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
oh, I'm watching cartoon kind of deal. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I
I'm not saying anime, but there was also some animated, and so I'm not like throwing in
mhm.
anime, but um, the Spawn animated series
Oh,
that they had.
Spawn, yeah, that's
That
meant for adults. That was
yeah,
never meant for children and stuff. But I
or
think when you say anime,
yeah,
people
yeah,
go, "Oh, it's Sailor Moon.
yep,
Oh, it's Dragon Ball Z." No,
yep,
there's like Parasite is one of my favorite animes. It's
yep.
definitely not for kids. Uh, but yeah, I think we need to embrace utilizing animation more for storytelling instead of shunning it away just because it's not live action.
But like you said, I think for a budget, they could probably visually pull off more things,
Mm-hmm.
artistically, or like not be bound to super expensive CGI budgets or anything like that. But
Draw dragons and stuff. One of my favorite book series is the Dresden Files, and it was made into a sci-fi. This is when the Sci-Fi Channel was doing a lot of different things. It was made into I think a one or two seasons. The the adaptation to TV is probably like 10% of what the book is. To be honest, it's not a good adaptation of it.
yeah,
But I always thought, I'm like, man, they should just do it as an adult animation. It would make complete sense because you're now dealing with magic and fairies and vampires and werewolves and all this stuff. It would make more sense to maybe do it as an animation than live action. Plus, I think it would hold up long term better.
yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. I can see that for sure. Um, I was gonna say with I know I'm kind of shifting gears here a little bit. I know I have like I was just
Oh,
looking at the time. Want to
oh,
be
you're fine.
I would be like good with your time and everything with it,
You're
but
good.
just hitting on things. But we were hitting on a little bit like you getting out into the YouTube space, doing some things like that. But kind of dig into that side of your journey, like through what you've been doing with it, your experiences with it. Um, what would you say? You've been doing it for a while, and you got way more subscribers than I do on your thing. What would you say if somebody's like, I have fun talking about these things. I want to come out and do this. Maybe I want to do a YouTube channel. what would be some advice or something you'd throw out to somebody to, I know you kind of hinted at some things earlier when we were talking about, kind of like a, um, open to criticism, both positive,
Hmm.
negative, kind of constructive or not constructive. But what would you throw out to somebody?
I would definitely say figure out what your channel, what you want to talk about, and stick to that. So, such as like me, I'm a horror channel. I shouldn't be kind of teetering away to pop culture, right? I should be, because your audience is going to follow you for what you talk about. So, if I'm talking about a horror movie one day, but then I'm talking about, I don't know, Tiger King the next day, it just doesn't mix well. Uh, at least when you're growing, when
Right.
you get to those 20, 30, 40, 50K subs, you could pretty much,
Whatever.
your audience knows you, they follow for you.
Yeah.
And this is the second advice, which I'm really bad at: consistency. You
Yeah.
have to be consistent. If you're going to be a streamer, you stream at the same time, the same day each week, right?
Yeah.
Because your audience is looking for you. That is the time slot. They're like, hey, Nadia is going to be on at 8 o'clock. I need to eat and be ready and sit down and watch or something.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at it, mostly because I have health issues that sometimes I just can't stream.
Sure.
It's just the way it is,
Yeah.
or I'm
Life.
traveling or something. But
Yep.
consistency is a thing. Now, some people will tell you recorded videos first, build up that channel with recorded videos, and then do live stream. You could do that way if you want. I like live streaming.
I do
So,
too. I do too.
yeah. But most people who I've talked to in the space, because I was very lucky to be kind of taken in under the wing of the Salty Nerd podcast because they're local here.
Yeah.
So actually, my first live stream was on their live stream in studio.
Nice.
And one of them always said, do your recorded videos, build your audience, and then go into live stream. If you're like me, who hates recorded videos, take the advice with a grain of salt. Uh, but always ask, and then when you are a YouTuber, you have to do the live stream round, panelist round. So if somebody asks you to be on their channel, you have to say yes. You have to get your face out there. You
Yeah.
have to talk to people. I mean, I remember in October, I think I did 40, 50 streams for the whole month. Some of them, I had streams where Saturdays I was morning, afternoon, nighttime. I was just saying yes, 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 yes. Because especially if you're going to be on other people's channel who does the same thing as you,
Yeah.
uh, that'll help build your audience too as well. Because people are like, oh, I really like so and so's channel about horror. Nadia's on it. Oh, I'm going to follow her. Kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
There will be trolls. There will
Yeah.
be mean people. People call me fat all the time in my videos and stuff, all the fucking time. But I look at it this way: those people are not the important people in my life. The
Right.
most important person in my life is my husband, so
Yeah.
he's the opinion I value most. So everybody else can fuck off.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Tim or God, one of the two. Like those are the only two I'm gonna listen to.
That's what you got going.
Yeah, so like people are going to be mean. People are going to make fun and stuff. Just go with it. Right? I always go, thank you for your comment and your engagement.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Thanks for stopping
You have to
by.
have a thick skin. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. You have to have a thick skin for
Yeah.
it, but don't let people bother you. And then um there was one more thing. I see like a completely brain out. Oh, stay away from YouTube drama. And by
Oh.
that,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, be on your P's and Q's, mind you. You could be talking to somebody for over a year, and if you're talking to them in a chat, I'm telling you right now, those people like there are certain people that will screenshot everything you say to them and stuff like that. So like stay away from YouTube drama. If there's drama, you walk away from it. Uh Additionally, advice I have, for those of you that have panels, you have panels of people and stuff like that, sometimes panels don't work out and you just got to tell people either they're not welcome back on or you walk away. One of the two, whatever you
Right.
decide. Don't force yourself to do something you're just not comfortable with anymore or don't like and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if they're adult, they'll understand. If not, then you got rid of the problem to begin with this stuff. So,
Right.
but yeah, I just reach out to people. I've always told people you can always reach out to me. Anybody who starts off, you can always reach out to me. Ask questions. Ask people who you admire in the community. Be like, hey, I'm new to YouTube, and most of the time they will respond back to you because they have been in your position.
Right. Yep.
So
Well,
yeah.
and just like what we're doing right now tonight, I ran into you on another live stream. I was like, you seemed like you were just, I don't know, like you can get a feeling from somebody. It's nice when you can have some interaction with somebody first, like see them
Hmm.
talking and interacting with other people, and you're just like, okay, that seems like a person that's very easy to talk to and has some interests that, they can convey their opinions and get along. They can handle a conversation back and forth, whether it's agreeing or disagreeing kind of a thing. So no, that's where I ran into you, and I'm just like, hey, you seem like you'd be cool to have on and talk for a while. And I appreciate you, like I said, taking the time to hang out for a bit. So
Oh yeah, I will always say yes. Usually 9 out of 10 times. Sometimes I say yes too much. It's okay. But again, it's the same thing. Is because I love talking to people about stuff like this, and then when I start to not like to talk to people about this stuff, then I know then my YouTube career is done,
yeah,
and I don't want to go forward. I again, I've never looked at this as something I want to do full time. If it ever happens, God bless, thank you.
yep,
But if not, I'm cool with just hanging out with people. I just
I
want
know,
to talk to other nerds.
I know. That's what I have fun with too. I know there's things. Like you were saying, like people will give you advice to like growing your channel, and it's very good advice. But they're like sometimes there's some things where I'm just like, I'm kind of having fun going on a live stream and hanging
Yeah,
out and having fun. And
I broke
I'm
my rule. I only had like 10 videos up recorded, and I was like, fuck this. I'm going live
yeah,
stream.
right. That's
Oh,
pretty much what I
last
did.
advice. If you are going to live stream and you're like, oh, okay, so and so live streams at this time on this day, so and so I'm gonna have to, I might overlap them, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to move. No, don't do that. Don't do that. If we all tried to fit around each other, we nobody would stream. Like,
it's
so I
impossible
know,
not to overlap with
yeah,
somebody.
and there's always replays, and your
Yeah,
and your audience will watch your replays, your audience will
yeah,
comment, your audience will show up for important things. But to me, like Tuesdays I stream at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. There are a ton of people who do this at the same time, who are in my community, who I adore too as well.
yeah,
You're going to overlap with people,
yeah,
it's just going to happen.
yep,
So don't think if you overlap with a ton of people you're not going to build your channel, because your audience will find you.
yeah. You just got to do what works for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's the time that works for you, that's when you got to do it. But well, I'll tell you what. I know we're hitting we crossed the 2 hour mark here. I'm having a great time talking, but I'll run through the chat here real quick, and then we'll wrap her up. So you can go on with real world stuff, in your evening and everything. But I appreciate it so much. But Dell, going back to Dragon Ball Z, he said most anime that made it to the U.S. was definitely or decidedly not for kids.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Let me just run through. Nanette was saying I love Blue Samurai. Okay, I'm going to run through these really quickly. We got Unplugged in here saying hello from the UK. Thanks for jumping in here.
Hello.
Wow, it's early
It's like
morning hours
2 in
for
the
you.
morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is in the UK. Got some highs back and forth. Hortensia saying thanks you all for this information. Yeah, my random chatter, but I appreciate you being here, Hortensia. Um, Dell was saying I never understand watching somebody's content and being rude to the creator. It's interesting, but
It is.
it's a thing.
It,
It's a
it
thing.
is. It is. Like, unbelievably. And it's never usually about the content, it's usually about the person who's doing the content. At least in my experience. It's always been about my appearance, never about what I'm saying. I'm like, you're just being a troll just to be a troll.
Right.
You have some deeper problems you got to deal with more so than what I got to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's anytime you bring this up, like Hortensia is saying, I agree. Like it's not a uncommon thing to find other people that have been affected by it or have run
Mm-hmm.
into or had to deal with it. And Unplugged was saying I went through YouTube drama with a YouTuber and no longer subscribe to him. Yeah, I mean it's that's
It
where you
sucks,
just
but sometimes you
yeah
have to cut
yeah
cut that tie. Like, and similar with finding your audience, you will find your community too. You will find the individuals that you are in group chats with, that you share memes with, that you
yeah
are on panels with. Paul is a great example of bringing a bunch of people together.
Yeah, yeah,
on it
he
too.
was very welcoming and fun
Yeah.
and that's where how I met you. Yeah, through that. But and he was also one too. He was like, Corey, if you and he saw something else I was doing, and he was like, "Hey, if you want to talk about horror movies and stuff, you should talk to Nadia." And I was like, "Well,
Well,
I don't know if she
he
would like. I don't really know her." And he's like, "Oh no, she's cool. Like, just reach out to her, you know." And
oh, he's great. I adore Paul. He's great.
yeah,
He's trying to get me with Sin all the time to talk about horror movies on
Sin's
it.
a lot
He's
of
like,
fun
"Oh, you'll
too.
be great."
Yep.
She's great. All of them. Kyle,
Yeah.
everybody's great on that channel.
Yeah.
But he saw that I was trying to get to 500, and he's like, "Come on, talk about your channel and stuff like that." And he's another great person who just wants to help build community
Yeah.
around this.
Just
So
have fun and help people out. Like it's kind
yeah.
of cool to run into people like that. Absolutely. But yeah, like I said, you don't have to like look too far, and you get like a yep, that happened to me before too with the drama things. Probably, yep, me too. I'll probably be saying Corey is awesome. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Um, yeah, I'm sorry it happened to you. Yeah, it's just something that pops up a lot. Jeff was saying this has been a great stream. Always find someone new I want to follow on the movie club. Oh, cool.
Oh, thank
Well, thanks for
you.
dropping by, Jeff. I appreciate it. Well, but Holland was saying I enjoy lurking in the panel stream, hanging out. But I do that too sometimes. I like listening along to a lot of people's streams as well. But like I said, I know we've kind of gone over the time for tonight.
That's fine.
I always have fun like going, but I always say like, okay, well, I'll try to keep to your time. But with this, maybe it just means we'll have another stream sometime and can hang
Oh
out and
yeah.
talk, or maybe you'll come on a panel on mine sometime if you want to.
I would love to have you on one of my Tuesday shows to talk about your favorite horror movie. I've been having solely
Oh yeah,
content creators come on to talk about them,
yeah.
so we can talk schedules about it.
I, I always like you. I have. It's kind of like you don't have to twist my arm too hard to like talk about things I enjoy, because like I finally get to I get to talk about it, kind of a thing. Because a lot of my friends or family around me just don't have that same interest in some of
Mhm.
those things, and nothing bad against that. It's just everybody likes different things, but when you find like a group that's passionate about it and really want to talk about it, yeah, you don't have to twist my arm too hard. So. Dell was saying just sub
Oh,
not. Yeah, there
thanks,
you go.
Dell.
Cool. I love it. But see, like I get such a kick out of that too. I know I'm very small, and even if it's just like one or two or whatever, I think it's cool when, like I said, there's so many YouTubers out there. Sometimes it's just getting out in front of somebody, and if I
It's like
can,
imposter syndrome. That's what the word I
yeah,
was looking for.
there you go.
That's what it feels like,
Yep,
right? Yeah.
yep. But
And I look at YouTube like you could be a content creator, or you could just be somebody to just hang out and talk about movies, man. Just
yeah,
like it's just fun, and people love listening to it and too. And I have some like regulars that are always in my chat that I adore. I adore everybody who subs to me because I like thank you. Like I am so appreciative to anybody who's helping me reach my goals and stuff in any way you can. And it's just a beautiful thing just to support each other.
I'll say that right there. I know I'm a very small channel, but so many people that are in here tonight and other times are names I see come back again. Oh,
Your
d-
camera froze.
oh, sorry. I don't know what happened.
I have unfrozen. Oh no. Oh no. I can hear you. I don't know. Chat, can you guys hear him? Because it says in your corner, it says you're offline. Hmm. On my end, at least. Unless I went off. Wait, wait. Oh, you can't hear. Yeah, they can't hear you. So you are offline. So now this become my channel. I'm going to start saying the bad words. That will get caught. Oh no. Yeah, you're fine. It still says you're offline. No Corey here. He's gone. He is. I see him. I hear him. He's like a ghost. Not his movies and music. Do you want me to say goodbye in case you do end it? And then it should. Well, I know with Streamyard you can back out even as the host and come back in. So it might leave me in unless you want to try logging in from a different tab while you're still in it. Oh, you're don't apologize. You're fine. Technical difficulties happen all the time. So it's just us chat. What questions you got for me? While we wait for Corey to fix this. Yeah, they can hear me. I'm on. You're just offline. I don't know if I can end this. You should be able to get back in. Hold on. Before you do that, folks, it's been a pleasure with all of you in the chat. Uh, Corey's laughing at me. He is going to try to close everything. If by chance it kicks him out and ends the stream, thank you guys all for your questions, your subs, your love, all this stuff. Please, if you're another content creator, I would love to have you on to talk about horror movies on my channel. So please hit me up on Twitter or Twitter's Nerd Dollface and YouTube channel's Horror with Nat. So just in case. Okay, go, Corey. All right, so it says you have no connection.
Are you
Oh, are you
there?
back? I see you. Your video is a little blurry, but you're good.
Oh gosh, this thing has been.
It's
Now the
okay.
thing will be is if we're still live and people can. Oh, I see here. He's back.
He's
Can you
back.
actually see me though?
I can see you. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, forget
I'm sorry,
that closer.
everybody. I'm sorry, everybody. It's
You're
like,
technical difficulties happen.
oh my gosh. Yep. What you got to have some. You had some great closing remarks there. I love that, but I appreciate that very much because I'm just like, what am I gonna do here? Yeah, I might have to. We'll be seeing if I'm trying a different streaming thing later or not, but. Um, all right. So okay. So we got the eyes and Corey and everything. Okay. I know there was a question before I just dropped everything there. Oh gosh, where was it at? Oh, Unplugged was saying, what is your favorite 80s or 90s horror movies?
Ooh, I really love the Evil Dead franchise. I know that's a pretty safe answer, to be honest, without
That's
looking
okay.
at my list. But I really like the Evil Dead franchise. I like all of them, but I really like the first two Evil Dead. Even though the second one's kind of a remake of the first one with, yeah. So
Yeah.
also, I gotta think. Hold on. John Carpenter movies aren't my favorite. Uh, I love The Thing, Prince of Darkness. Oh, it's okay. My favorite vampire movie is John Carpenter's Vampires with James Wood. I know it's not the best movie ever created, but
It's fun.
man,
It's
yeah,
fun.
man, that guy just got his star, his walk of fame, and
Yeah.
it didn't like. I'm amazed it took this long. I'm looking to see because I have a list from my birthday tier stream of like my how we tiered my birthday, but it will include like most of my top 26 movies. Let's see. Here we go. So, I have The Thing, Alien, Army of Darkness. The Shining is one of my favorite movies too. The Exorcist, The Fly. I like Frighteners.
Oh yeah. No, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox, great.
Yep.
People Under the Stairs is one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah.
Possession. You all have not seen Possession
I have not seen
with a
Possession.
young Sam Neill. I did a double feature of Possession and First Omen. Whew, that's a ride. You definitely want to see something happy after that one. But yeah,
Well, I wrote that down as well. I had not seen that, but but no, I was just running through. Thank you very much, everybody, for understanding. I see no
We
need to
all have technical.
apologize. Yeah, got that.
Yeah,
Look,
that's
Steve saying
another
hi.
key thing. Young content creators, you will always have technical difficulties. Just roll with them.
Oh, well, and tonight I've had a few, so I appreciate you rolling with me on them as well. Because when we were starting off, that's why I have a nice side angle of my camera right now because I have a backup. Luckily, I had something else I could use. I don't know why that was not picking up. So, um, yep, we got some others like I haven't seen Possession.
Oh, it's so good. Possession. I didn't know if I liked it at first when I walked away from it, and it stuck with me for weeks
Yeah,
about it. Yes, I like it. The first Omen uses a lot of influence from it too. By the way, the first Omen, very good. A lot of people kind of shied away from it, thinking it was just going to be just another cash grab in the franchise. Actually, it's very good. It does tweak a little bit with the lore in the franchise, but I think it's done well enough. I would recommend it.
okay.
It's beautifully shot. It's a very beautiful movie.
I'll have to go check that out. I've heard of it, but I just never seen it. But
You,
Unplugged was asking if you ever watched Ash versus
I
the Evil Dead.
did, and it shouldn't have been canceled.
So you enjoyed
Well,
it.
I did. I did.
Um, yeah, there you go. At least I had Nadia. I got a pro on here when I have problems and have to bow out. Nadia took over and took care of it. But um, but with that being said, I know I've taken you longer than you were thinking. I'd love to have you
You're
back
fine.
on again or hang
Yeah.
out some other way on these. But do you have anything coming up you want to throw out to people to check out?
So tomorrow I have Horror Tuesday. I'm going to be talking about all of the horror news that came out of Cinecon that was out here in Vegas. And then following that will be my once a month members chat where I go live to just talk with my members. They can ask me questions, just hang out. Uh, Thursday is just a what am I doing Thursday? I don't know. Thursday I have something called Chills and Thrills, where I talk
Okay,
about like movies I've watched and stuff. Because usually Tuesday's news, Thursday's like recap. Uh, and this will be the last Chills and Thrills, and because I'm gonna be putting Last of Us in season 2 in that place. Friday is I have a great panel. We're rewatching Stranger Things. We're doing season
oh
2,
nice.
episode 5 and 6, and then Saturday mornings usually I do X Files, but that is on hold until May. I'm about halfway through the season. The following weekend, I'm going to be gone for the week because there's a big YouTuber meetup happening here in Vegas with a bunch
Nice.
of people coming into town. So I'm going to be busy with that. And then the biggest thing coming up this month is on the 22nd, I will have Michael Levy on. He is the director of Stream, which was a 2024 horror movie, but he's also the producer for the Terrifier series.
Yeah.
So he's going to come on talk about his movie and his experience in the genre. So all all a bunch of stuff everywhere.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, keep them busy. I'll have to check. I'll have to make sure to check that out because that'll be interesting to. Yeah, that's crazy. I love that you're getting big names like that on.
Just
That's kind of
ask
cool. Yeah.
because I'm relatively still a small channel. I haven't hit 1K yet, so like I'm technically a very small channel as well, right? I'm tiny. You just ask these people. That's another advice. Just ask.
Yeah.
With Sam coming on for Woman of the Yard, all I did was I saw him repost about it, found out that he was the writer for it, DM'd him and said, "Hey, I'd love for you to come on to talk about this movie once I see it." And he's like, "Yeah, absolutely." So
Nice. That's cool. No, I love that. I love seeing people, uh, have that happen on their channels. It's very cool. I'll have to check that out. Unplugged was just saying that my favorite is Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Yeah.
oh, I wonder if you know that they're kind of doing that route with Black Phone too. They're doing the Nightmare on Elm Street kind of route where I don't know. Did you see Black Phone?
No, I have not. I have it
So
back there, but I have not watched it.
it's okay. It's kind of grounded. There's a little supernatural aspect of it, but
Yeah.
I would say it's a little bit more. The second one, from what I heard from Cinecon, is that this the grabber is back, but he's going to be get, getting kids through their dreams. It's very Nightmare on Elm Street esque. So I would. I don't know if it's a good thing. I
Yeah.
think they didn't need a sequel, but we'll see.
We'll see on there. Yeah. And then it was saying,
Ooh.
Nadia, what was your favorite decade of movies?
particular. I have stuff from everywhere.
Yeah.
Even Suspiria, I have the original is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
So to me, it's not so much. So, so the biggest thing that attracts me to a movie is the color palette they use for the movie. I know it's a weird
Oh
thing to say,
no,
but if the
Suspiria
color,
definitely has that.
yeah, but if the color palette is off, or if they use these god awful filters that they've been using nowadays, where it looks like somebody peed all over the movie, or it's like that gray teal for horror movies that they kind of do, uh, that'll turn me off. So if color is used properly, or it just looks pretty, that'll attract me the most. Use of lighting too. I
Yeah.
say this to HBO all the time when I'm on streams. Listen, HBO, come here. Let me talk to you for a minute. House of the Dragon season 2. Penguin, learn how to fucking light your nights, my guy.
Yeah.
Please. Oh, some of the stuff you can't see half of it. All right, I gotta turn my TV up. I shouldn't have to. Okay, if Nosferatu can do it in the dark and you can still see stuff, learn how to light your nights. So, yeah. But yeah, color palettes are. But if I had to pick a decade, I would say probably late '80s, early '90s. I mean, I was born in the '80s. But I grew up in the '90s, so
Yeah.
I Know What You Did Last Summer, The Faculty, like all these movies are what Final Destination. I still won't drive behind something sticking out of its truck bed. So these movies stuck with me
Right.
as a kid. So probably late '80s, '90s if I had to give an answer. So
There's a lot of fun stuff there for sure.
yeah.
Um, Nina was just saying, be there
Oh,
tomorrow
thank
night.
you.
There you go. I love it.
We're gonna watch some trailers. We're gonna
There you
check out
go.
some news. You're gonna hear me
Steve
rant
was,
how I think 28 years later is gonna be crappy, but
yeah, well, it'll be
oh,
interesting to
thank
see
you,
where that one
Steve.
goes. Steve was in there subbing. I love it.
And if you
Oh,
guys are all content creators too, when I go back in and I see you guys sub, I'll sub back to you guys. Sub or sub. Let's do this,
there
people.
you
I
go.
have seen Cat People 1982.
Unplugged just sub to you. Dell was saying, color aside, season one of The Penguin was amazing. I'm almost through that one too.
Mm-hmm.
I did get it. I only have like, that's my problem about finishing series. I think I only have like 2 episodes left of that one. But
On my channel that I had with my husband called Inside All Day, we did a weekly breakdown of the Penguin. That was one of the last things we did for the channel.
okay.
So I had a panel and it broke it down, which was interesting because I don't read Batman, even though I have Batman comics sitting right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
These were bought to read for the Penguin. So I had a different. I was looking at it from a more somebody who's in the field, like the aspect, the storytelling, where I had panelists who are Batman fiends, like friends, and love Batman. They can break it down of like who they thought who was and how this works in the universe and stuff. So it was pretty interesting.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you were answering Annette there about cat people.
Yes, I've seen
Steve
Cat
was saying, where were you born and raised, Nadia? I mean, only talk about what you want to, but I'm from Los
People.
Angeles.
It's fine. I was born in Chicago. Born and raised in Chicago. Partially spent a year in the Middle East, and then for school, Chicago, and then Los Angeles. Lived in Los Angeles for a couple years to do movies and stuff, and then went back to Chicago. Met my husband, and now I live in Las Vegas, which is now becoming one of the movie capitals because now all studios are moving out here and building studios out here. Like Warner Brothers is coming out here and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it one of those things that the state has quite a diverse like landscape in different parts of the states, and it's cheaper than
It could be.
California?
It
I
could be
mean, I don't
because I know
know.
California they don't give the best tax breaks for
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
It used to be Georgia for the longest was
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
best
yep.
for tax breaks on it, but I think they're just tired of the cost of things. Like nowadays, it's kind of a double edged sword. Nowadays, it's too expensive to film in California, but also studios aren't taking chances on movies either. Too, they
Right.
want to go with the safe risk. So it's like, yeah, so.
There you go. Del was saying they send one of yours to the hospital, you send one of theirs to the morgue. That's the
That's the Chicago way. Yeah.
Unplugged was saying you were born in the '80s. You make me feel old. I was born in the '70s.
I was
That's all
born
right.
in the
Unplugged.
80s
I'm
too.
'70s as well. I'm '70s as well. That's all right. We're in good company there. But well, I tell you what, I appreciate you so much. Like I said, this is I always joke. It's like the Midwest goodbye. I call it. where you say
Yeah,
goodbye like 12 times and it's like
it's also the air
an
of
hour
goodbye.
later. Yeah.
Middle Eastern people do this too as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
So
stand up,
every
you say goodbye. You go
yep.
to the door, you say goodbye. You're in the car, you say
Well,
goodbye.
and then you talk about
Yeah,
something else for a while, but I'd keep on going. But like I said, I wanted to keep. We went way over what we were talking about for the time, but that just means we'll do it again. Hopefully,
yes.
sometime soon.
I'll
But
have. I'm serious. I would love to have you on. Probably we'll reach out after the meetup next week
yeah, yeah,
because
whenever
it's going
it's
to be
fine.
chaotic uh, out here. There's going to be tons of people out here. So
Yeah, that's cool that you got that going on there. But I would say, yeah, there you go, Holland. Midwest Goodbye with technical difficulties is the new one. Yeah, that's my twist on it, Holland. That was my twist on it. But yeah, if you don't mind hanging on for just a second after we sign off here, I'll just say everybody that's been in the chat tonight, I really appreciate it. Whether it was a little bit of it, the whole thing, or whether you come back for a replay. Um, that's why we do the live streams. It's fun to have you all out here interacting with us and doing all this. So thank you so much. And I'll say, Nadia, thank you again very much for taking time out
thank
of
you.
your night to do this.
This was
So
so much fun. Thank you so much. Again, I love being on the panelist side. So I don't have to do
it's
stuff.
nice. Yeah, I know it's
It
nice.
is nice on it.
Yep. Yep. And, except when you have to fill in when the host like drops out.
Oh, that's not a problem. Technical. I promise you, I will have technical difficulties tomorrow.
Oh gosh, it just like never fails. But this was a little worse than usual for tonight, so it always keeps you on your toes a little bit. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Everybody's saying good night, and we got another save 70s baby there. Yep, and great live stream. So I appreciate it so much. But again, we'll sign out for tonight. Everybody, thank you so much. Love you all. That's why we do the live streams. I appreciate you so much jumping in here and keeping us company, hanging out for a while. So we'll talk to y'all here real soon.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see ya.